Hi everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. Something a little bit thing was going on. Why do you keep doing that? Anyway, some technical problems at the beginning. And I was telling Jason there before Jamie Phillips wanted me on last night. Oh, the problems I had, but there was something wrong. And Jason's been sorting us out. And he said, so if he wants you on, he said, there'll be no problem. Just go straight on and you'll be on. Because I had no problem on other podcasts, to be honest. I've had no problem. But that's the way it is. But anyway, if he wants me on, he's on tonight at midnight. So if he wants me on, I should be okay. Anyway, how's everyone? I hope you're all right. I hope you're far better off than me. God blimey. I've had so many problems with mad things. Anyway, Ian, and he says, evening, Reds, and a thumbs up. Evening, Ian. I hope you've got loads of comments for us tonight, boys. Redbeard, hello. Is it Frank we're looking for? Yes. Yeah. Do you know what? That song, it doesn't half remind me of my ex-wife. That's what she used to say to me when we were knocking about with each other, going back all that time. Hello, is it me you're looking for? She used to phone me up. So yeah, that reminds me of her. And Paul Turner. Evening, Frank. Hope you're okay. Yes, I am now after seeing all these lads. And evening, Red, says Paul. Also, that's all the lads. And I'm sure Anfield Road is trying to get me to be an alcoholic. I'm sure it's all them pints. Pints and scotches. Evening goal. I've been bad today, by the way. I've been really bad, but anyway, feel a bit better. I've taken a few tablets. And Frankie boy, I'm feeling raw. Blimey. Jeez. Paul Turner, interesting debate on Jamie's last night regarding FSG, Jurgen Klopp. What do you think, Frank? I'll tell you what I think. Just give me a moment. Anfield Road, bless up, bro. Look at that, see, you sent in pints. Oh, they're all talking to one another. That's lovely, that. Evening also is Darryl Merry. I'm going to bring in JK here. I don't know where he is. Where is he? Has he come on? Oh, there he is. There he is. Hello, JK.
Hello, bro. How you doing?
Oh, right.
Smiling. Good.
George said that he's driving home. He's been playing golf, but he said he'll come on when he gets home, and so he should be okay. Norman, evening, Mr. Carlyle. Thank you, Norman. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Can't get away from this red day, can you? Anfield only drinks when we're winning. He must be permanently drunk and lit. With you fellas, I won't be. And the Barsley. Hi, guys. Don't forget, you and Zadal are on Thursday. This Thursday. And Steve Evans, look at this. Hello, you filthy animals. This is not Nottingham Forest. It's marvellous, isn't it? And there's the man himself. There's Kama. Hiya, mate. Are you okay?
How you doing, guys?
You're right there, bro.
We're good. We're really good.
Are we basking in the saltiness?
What do you reckon of, just let me go to this. I want to, oh, Jesus, this doesn't work, this thing. I used to just be able to, hang on, where are we? Just let me get it a minute, boys. Right. And this was last night regarding the Jamie's show. Interesting debate on Jamie's channel last night regarding FSG and Jurgen Klopp. What do you think? And what it is, it's about the timeline of Klopp. When he came out and said, how he knew last November. This is in the January when he said he was leaving. But the timeline now goes right back to the summer. Now, I'm being honest with you. I really am. I knew about this months ago. All this. And I didn't want to say nothing just in case I had egg on my face. And I said, I can't say that. But I got it off a great, reliable source, believe you me. And they said there's been a massive bust-up between Jurgen and John Henry. A massive bust-up. And they're not talking, and there's no fixing it. That's what I was told. There's no fixing it. I said, well, what's going to happen? He said, it'll all come out what's going to happen, and it's not going to be very nice for all the Reds. And, well, as you know, we all found out that he was leaving. So what do you think about that, K-Mac,
Well,
this massive bust-up?
Well, I said last year, I can hear myself. Has someone got? Okay, it's gone. I said on, I think it was Coppish last year, that the owners came over just in the middle of the season. It was a bit random. I think it was the West Ham game, the West Ham away game, and the Bournemouth game. They were over, and I basically said they've come over to tell him he's going to be sacked, or something's going to change. And I think it was like a game later or 2 games later, we switched to the inverted and completely changed the formation. Well, not completely changed the formation, but switched to a new formation. And then we went on that mad winning run. But we didn't really play anyone that good, to be honest, until the last couple of games where we got a few draws. But I said the owners have come over to give him a rocket, and the fact that Michael Edwards has never gone away. He's never gone away. He's always been around, and FSG have never dropped him. They've never lost communication with him. He's always been there and thereabouts. For me, it was always going to be, you've got too much power. You need to relinquish some of this power, because you can't do your job because of it. And it proved that he couldn't do his job properly because he had too much power. And then there was all kinds of rumours coming out in the papers, in articles. The Athletic came out with stuff. Pep Linders was doing interviews about backroom stuff. Then there was things coming out about the training coach having all kinds of weird power over players and the medical staff, and then the scouting team, and then our director of football, who replaced Michael Edwards, left because no one was listening to what he was saying. It was just coming. It was going to come to an end. Something was going to happen. And when it came out that everybody knew in November, I've said this on a couple of shows. The timeline of the whole situation with Edwards and Edwards coming back into the frame, for me, makes me think that he's been pushed. He hasn't walked. He's been pushed to walk. Like, he's been told, look, this is your last season. Okay, we're going to go in a different direction. We're not going to let the manager have all this power. We're going to have a proper director of football. We're going to have a coach who just coaches the team, and he doesn't control everything, and that's the way it's going to be. And he's gone, nah, I'm not doing that. And they've gone, okay then, so it's your last year. And if you want to rebuild the team, you can rebuild the team. You know.
What do you think?
The weird thing about it, I'll say one more thing before I let someone else take over. The weird thing about it is, and this is what's going to prove us right, me and you right, and it's also going to prove me right for a number of years. The new guy comes in, he's going to be given loads of money, and everybody's going to go, oh, why are FSG backing their manager? And it's going to come out, FSG will have always backed their manager. It's the manager that didn't want to spend the money. And that's what's going to come out. And that's the part which is going to hurt the fans the most. Because they are going to find out in probably books or memoirs or media leaks or whatever, but it's going to come out that he was always offered money. And the fact that Billy Hogan was in charge of the Caicedo deal proves to me that FSG were literally saying to the fans, look guys, we will always get the top targets. We will always go up against the top teams. It's your manager that didn't want us to, because he wants to build a squad from gems. And that's the way he's always been. It makes it feel more like a family if you do it that way. And it's worked. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Nothing hasn't worked. We've won loads of trophies with him, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Okay, no, you know, I know
pushing
about
me for more.
Oh no, they go with JK and what you just said, because as you know, okay, there's lots of spin in stories, and I mean lots of spin. I've been witnessing it right now for the last few years. Lots of spin when stories come out, so they spin things, and there's no one better spinning than the owners. To be honest, the owners.
Mm-hmm.
So people will think like me that it's spin. Now, as I said, I knew about this ages ago, and I mean ages ago, months ago. And I knew that there was a massive bust up. But what you hit me with, and below the belt, I think everyone, is that rather than him saying, I've had enough, I'm getting off, is that he's actually being pushed. Now, here's my thing to you, my question to you. What if the fans, us, you, me, and everybody else, finds out that he was pushed? Because remember, Jürgen, he couldn't be criticised by anybody for doing, whether it was substitutions, whether it was this or whether it was that. And what I was told was over the Bellingham deal that, the owners made a fool of him in front of Bellingham's family. Made a right fool of him because it was already a done deal. It was already a done deal that he was coming here, and right in front of his family, and he just turned around and said, no, we're not doing it. Now, that's what I was told. And so he's just gone like that. I've had enough of this. I'm off. Now, what you said again.
I've got a real exclusive on Bellingham, by the way, which I'll tell you.
No, that'll be great. But let me just finish on this. What you said, it does make sense, and I'll tell you for why. Is the whole, if he's being pushed, the whole of the backroom staff have gone with him. They've said, if you're going, you might as well push us. We're going with you. And it's as simple as
that. It's a whole cleaning of the decks, isn't it? Look, I mean, there's people in the chat who are kind of like, they're saying like, it's starting to look like that. Look, Klopp's done interviews now, and Klopp said, I have to go. Like, I have to go. Why are you saying that, Jürgen? Like you could win the quadruple this season, but you have to go. You have to go because you're being pushed. You're being moved out of your job. Like, it's the whole timeline makes sense, and I'll explain the timeline to you. But what I will tell you is, I'll tell you about the Bellingham thing. By the way, I've got a mate who works with. Well, he used to work with a guy who worked for HP. The HP, not like the source, the computer company, and he wakes up in Manchester, and he does like a lot of networking with other companies around their products, and he plays 5-a-side football, 5 and 7-a-side football. Like a little mini league with a load of oldies in their 40s, and one of the people who he plays with is Bellingham's dad, Mark, and he knows Mark, and he's known him for quite a while. And Mark said 2 years ago that Jude Bellingham was going to Real Madrid. He was never going to Liverpool. Never going to Liverpool. Okay? Never going to Liverpool. He was always going to Real Madrid, and they used Liverpool with the help of some of his friends from Liverpool
as a springboard.
As a springboard. As a way to get more money, to get a bigger contract. And you know what? It's genius. It worked. It's not like Liverpool haven't been used before to get players bigger contracts. It's not like Liverpool haven't been used to get players signed to other clubs. It's not like they haven't done that before. Like, it's part of the game. It's part of business. Part of business acronym. Like you write on your CV where you used to work. You write on your CV like your interests and stuff like that. Like, people embellish stuff to get themselves better deals, more money. Like, that's what was done. It was a clever bit of play. Klopp loved Bellingham. Klopp loved Bellingham that much that he talked about him in the Amrabat deal when he was talking to Amrabat's agents. And Amrabat's agents left because they were insulted that he wouldn't stop talking about Jude Bellingham in the World Cup when Amrabat was in the World Cup as well. I'm glad we didn't get Amrabat, by the way.
Yeah, but I just feel that
that's what happened.
We don't really need this soap opera right now. Like these news articles that are coming out. You could just read from Klopp's face when he did that press conference when he's about to leave. You can tell he's disappointed in something. You couldn't pinpoint what it was, but I just think the amount of injuries and soap operas we're getting this season, we don't need that. We got a league title to win. So this owner Klopp soap opera for me is a topic maybe at the end of the season. And also I feel that last season when Klopp was there and he wasn't doing well, even a lot of Liverpool fans were saying to him, we want him gone. And that just shows you the modern day.
JK, even he said in a press conference, like, I should have been sacked.
Yeah, not.
Well, he kind of has. But he kind of has, JK. He kind of has been sacked.
But that's from people who
asked to leave.
Yeah, but that's like saying this. Imagine I said to you guys, here's 300 million, and you turn that 300 million into 5 billion within 5 years. You've done that in 5 years, and then me saying to you guys, oh, I don't need you no more. It's like you're going to feel like, oh, you're going to feel hurt. And I feel a bit unthankfulness in the game right now. And that's like, for me, Klopp, he should have a contract till whenever he wants it. Him having an off season last season was accumulation of us not signing a DM, doing the other bits and bobs. Just the thankfulness for me shows you the true colours of these owners. I've not moaned about the owners for the last couple of years or so. Back in the days, it was much more, of course. But when you really, really look at it, and they're willing to let Klopp go after he's made them into like billions with his football, and also not paying big money for players bar Alisson and Virgil. It just shows me the modern day football world, you know. It's a bit ugly, actually, you know. I like Klopp. He's a top guy, you know. But for me, the owners never been really at the games, but they picked up 600 million last year, you know, with our badge. And what did they give
Yeah,
us?
that
They
was the
gave us
problem,
Endo.
yeah.
They gave us Endo. Yeah, did they put in a bid for Casado? Who knows? Because they're into their
JK,
soap operas.
JK, you're blaming the owners again, mate. Right.
No, but the owners, bro,
again.
are the ones who
It's
are
not the
the
own
ones.
JK, I'm telling you, mate. I'm telling you, in 6 months' time, when it all comes out in the washing, you'll know that the owners will always back the manager. I mean, I can give you the numbers. Like, I could give you the numbers on how they back managers. Like, they backed Kenny, they backed Rodgers, they backed Hodgson, and they backed Klopp when he first came in. Like, they back the managers every single year. Like, they do, honestly. Like, the numbers are there.
Yeah,
The
but you
numbers
know
are
what
there.
it is?
The reason why Klopp hasn't spent as much as we want him to, is because he sells players. He sold players, and that was Michael Edwards. So it's all about net spend with Liverpool under Klopp. It's all about net spend. Like, we spent over $1 billion, but it's net spend. So we brought in like 400 million. So we're down to about 700 million he spent in total. Like, he doesn't buy enough players. He doesn't buy players in the right positions. You know, that's
Klopp
not
is a
FSG.
dream for them, then.
You can't
if you
blame
understand my
FSG
point.
for him buying 3 left wingers. You just can't, and no midfielders. You can't blame FSG for that. You can't blame FSG for not buying Canate when we needed Canate. Like, you can't blame FSG for Klopp turning him down Delicata, who went to Southampton, while he was at the bloody airport when we needed defenders. You can't blame FSG for that.
Yeah, but we don't know who made that decision to say yes or no, you know.
You can't blame FSG for us not getting Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo.
Yeah.
You can't blame him for that. Like, those players have all been available, ready for us to buy, because Michael Edwards had them there. They've all been offered to us. You know, Sven Botman was offered to us. All of these players have been offered to us.
But you know what it is, though,
no.
All it is for me is this. It's actually Klopp he's the owner's
We wouldn't
dream.
have Alisson. We wouldn't have Alisson. We would not have Alisson or Salah if it wasn't for Michael Edwards.
Yes, that's true.
He wanted the German guy. He wanted Kevin Trapp, and he wanted bloody Mario Götze and what was his name? Julian Brandt.
Brought in Karius, didn't he? Jürgen brought in Karius, and I'll never forget what he said. God. I'm not having a go at Jürgen. I love him.
I mean, to be fair, Karius was voted goalkeeper of the season that year under Mainz. Like, he was. Yeah. He is a good goalkeeper.
But he says he was the second best, and Karius lost us that final. I thought Karius was awful. One of the worst goalkeepers.
You know why, Frank?
He should have came off. He had concussion. He should have came off.
He was in a relationship with a girl at that time. It wasn't a good girl, if you understand my point. She was a dark girl, her energy, everything. And he was with her at that time. And look what he did in that final, man. It just showed you, like, he weren't in a good place at that time. Trust me.
He had concussion. He should have come off the pitch.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
I thought Mingele should have started, to be honest.
Yeah.
I said at the time, I hope Mingele plays. I hope he doesn't pick this Karius. His position and his
Frank, that's the only time you'll ever say that in your life. I hope Mingele plays.
Honestly, I thought.
But let's just see that
was when we
Klopp
had
FSG topic. That topic there, just for me, it's just the thankfulness, Frank. Some guy, Klopp, comes from Germany, he does really well. He's against guy with Pep Guardiola down the road who spent loads of money on his defence, over $250 million, for example. The thankfulness, that's the only thing that annoys me. He can go, Klopp can go, he's going, you know. The owners can do what they want as well, you know. But all in all, it's the thankfulness of they were like, we want you gone, bro. You know, that's just the annoying thing about it. This season, okay, that guy's going to probably win in the Premier League. There you go.
I think the fans, there's more fans who will be more upset with, you know, if he has been pushed with the owners rather than with Klopp.
Yeah.
You know, the fans will just turn. I know they will turn on the owners. I know our fans.
Can I also mention this as well, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about?
Go on.
Klopp was already going to leave a couple of years prior. I think we've forgotten that. I think we've forgotten the fact that he was going to leave a couple of years prior, and he actually announced it. If you remember, it was his wife that persuaded him to stay.
Yeah.
Or was it his wife that persuaded him to stay? Or was it the 15 million a year contract he got off FSG to be paid the second highest paid manager in the world? Do you think that might have been something which made him stay for another couple more years? Because he was down to go. And you also have to remember as well, we had this situation where there was a massive gap in the team where all we had was old players and young players. We didn't have any players that were in between the age of 21 and 27. If you remember correctly, the only player we had was Naby Keita, who was always injured in that gap.
Yeah.
That wasn't FSG's fault, guys. That was Jurgen Klopp's fault because he never made any pre-planning because he was going to leave. And then he signed his new contract and we had a mad panic and bought all those young players like to fill the gap. And we got caught short with no midfield. And we had just an aging team. It's only this year that we've managed to clear the decks and get a load of players back in. Because we were in a really bad place last year.
Well, that's where Michael Edwards comes into it. Because Michael Edwards, I know, wanted to get rid of Milner, Henderson, Keita, Oxlade. He wanted to get rid of the players that we got rid of
for nothing
this season.
For nothing.
Sorry. Yeah.
For nothing.
No, he just said, you know.
No, he was going to sell when they had value.
Yeah, that's when we had value. But he also
wanted to get rid of Origi, by the way.
Yeah.
And he also wanted to get rid of Sadio Mane earlier because he knew that he could get a good value on Sadio Mane before he dropped off.
Yeah.
And woe behold, he dropped off.
Look, well, that's why
the crazy thing about it as well. I'm a massive, massive Michael Edwards fan. Like, I want him back at the club. Because if you look at the numbers and you look at the timeline, we had our best years when Michael Edwards was at the club, or Michael Edwards' progeny was taking over from him. And that is just a fact. We had our big dips when he left and when his progeny left. They were the two big dips we had those years when we had no defence and we had no midfield. And if Edwards was there, we would have had a defence and a midfield. And we wouldn't have the manager coming out at the end of the year, at the end of the transfer window, going, I fucked up. I should have bought defenders. I should have bought midfielders.
Well, he said that about the midfielders.
Yeah, and we ended up getting Kabak and a hologram.
God blame you, bringing back some bad memories. You're going to have nightmares.
Well, you're talking. I mean, when you start bringing up FSG, I'm like, I'm a defender of them because they've done really well for us, and we're in a position where there's a lot of clubs that aren't in the position we're at. There's a lot of clubs. Chelsea are going to get hit soon. Tottenham are going to get hit. Manchester United are going to get hit eventually, or they're going to get caught eventually for stuff. And they're already in a situation where the ground's falling apart and their owners basically asking the fans to pay for it. And Man City are going to get hit. And we're going to be laughing all the way to the Leeds because we've got loads of money. We're in the green and we're ran properly. That's just a fact. Like, it's just come out that, like, we're the fourth highest merchandise contract in history behind, like, Real Madrid, Barcelona. And I think it's probably Man United, actually, because they do a lot of merchandise.
Well, anyway, someone agrees with you there. I'm just trying to get some. And I want to go through some of these. And Boom Boom 43 says, I think you're right there, K-Mac. Okay. And Mick Toe. That's what. So Klopp did not want Bellingham. That's what he said.
Oh no, Klopp wants Bellingham.
Yeah. So
we got used as a ramp to get him more money.
Okay. Now Steve Evans, and I know Steve is a personal friend of mine, and he said the Yanks will spin the BS forever. That's what he says, by the way. Keep it real. Nobody watching the Bayern game. No.
Who they playing?
We're all on here.
Who they playing?
I don't know. I haven't a clue.
Is it Champions League?
Yeah, Latvia.
Oh, okay. Are they getting beat? They're winning now. Oh, they're drawing now. 1-1.
Right. And Mick Toe says, I don't deny Klopp as being 10. I don't deny Klopp as being 10 out of 10 for me. That's what he says. And Lee Carlson says, if Jurgen was pushed, I'll be shocked. But anything is possible, in my opinion. And Steve Evans, Frank, we're not fans, we're customers. FSG's own words, that. And,
they run a business.
Okay.
Yeah, but the bigger picture being Klopp has been more beneficial to them than them for him. He was going to make big money anyway, Klopp, no matter where he went. He'd get a top job anywhere. So I don't think FSG could have gone and made that much money with us if it weren't for Klopp. Maybe Pep, yeah, he could have done a job there. But all these people like De Zerbi, Arteta, they would never do that job what Klopp done. You know?
Klopp's been with us for 9 years, mate. 9 years.
Yeah, I was at his first game when he won. I was there at Anfield.
He's been with us for 9 years. Like Klopp's done very well off FSG, mate.
Klopp's no. He would have got that wages anywhere.
Klopp wouldn't have got 15 million a year.
Off anybody.
Like we honestly can't sit here and say that Klopp could have gone on and been a great manager with any other club, because you just don't know that. Like,
yeah, but that's like
Klopp fitted Liverpool.
You can't just say that. He's have pedigree,
yeah. Klopp fitted Liverpool perfectly.
And
fitted Liverpool perfectly.
Yes, he did.
It's a match made in heaven.
He never shopped at Harrods. That's why.
But it was FSG that got him. Otherwise, another club was in.
Yeah, I know that, but you can't just turn around to me. I will not take that and say that John Hendry went like that, and Wayne. I'll tell you what, lads, shall we go after that Jurgen Klopp fella? I think he's great. They never said that.
Yeah.
They would have had someone. They would have had someone that had done that for them.
Yeah, of course. They've got strong advice, outside strong advice, and there wouldn't be any baseball fellas either who are at our club now. I will not have any of that.
No.
It's been someone, Kay, right outside, said, listen, if you want somebody. I always remember this, right? And it's about Rodgers. And Rodgers, I don't like even mentioning that man's name. Hate is not in my vocabulary, but I'll use that terminology for that man. For what he done. Now the thing is, he was another bit of a liar as well, because he turned around two things. One, he turned around and said, I didn't want Mario Balotelli. I didn't want him. I wanted him. And yet 2 weeks later, after him saying that, Steven Gerrard came out and said he broke his back to sign him. Rodgers broke his back to sign him. Now, when you think, Rafa Benitez phoned him up when he was into manager. and he spoke to Rodgers, and Rodgers, he said, I don't know. Anyway, he phoned Steven Gerrard's up. He said, Stevie, he said, tell your manager to bring in Phil Coutinho. He's a great, great player, because your manager hasn't a clue about any foreign players. So I'm warning you. He said, tell him about him and get him to come to Liverpool. That's Phil Coutinho. And well, he never liked me anyway.
And the rest is history.
Rodgers brought me one of my favourite games for Liverpool, that 5-1 against Arsenal, where we scored like 4 goals in 14 minutes or something.
Mental.
That game there is one of my favourite all-time Liverpool games, and it was Rodgers manager. Funny guy, Rodgers, man. He's actually second in the Scottish league now. He's not even top no more. So, as well.
He's useless. He's useless. When I was on LFC TV, Claire Rourke, I was sitting with Jimmy Case, and he'd just come, and he said, Claire asked Jimmy. Jimmy went like that. Oh, yeah, you know, Claire Rourke said, what do you think Brendan will do for us? You know, Brendan. And Jimmy went out, oh, you know, I said, oh, it's going to be great for us, you know, and all this. And she said to me, do you agree with Jimmy, Frank? And I went, no.
Oh, no.
Said, he got through on the back door of a playoff as an ordinary season. I said, we won 5 European Cups, 5, with the best, you know, with the most successful British team domestically and European, when you collectively you put them together. I said, and we brought in an inexperienced manager. We should have got someone a lot better than him. And I said, and we won't win anything under him. We will not win anything under him. And I was vindicated because we didn't. Rodgers didn't like the man.
Yeah, I can't really talk. Otherwise this will be like a 5-hour show of me just ranting.
Okay, so let's go on.
What an ass! That's all I can say. What an ass of a man.
Well,
let's talk about our last-minute win the other day.
I think there's only really one person I hate more than him, and it's Tony Blair. So
I'm glad he's
really quite high up. He's really quite high up in my hatred list.
I thought you liked him the way you said nothing there. You know, I hate the man. I really did. And
I like Roy Hodgson more.
Yeah, Roy Hodgson was he was a gentleman, but I think he's like Joe Biden, a little bit senile, to be honest.
Oh God, yeah,
manager.
Yeah, he's not right there.
Anyway, yeah. Let's get on to this. Let's get on to what our people are saying here. FSG have more than once put us out there. We are in big for players, then backed out. Hang on.
Who?
I've more than once put us out there. We are in big for a player, then backed out. Klopp is not silly. He has been pissing against the wind with these owners. That's what he says. And
so who from FSG came out and said we were signing players? Nobody. I can. You can probably write on one hand the articles that have come out about FSG with quotes. They are so secretive. You will never know anything about that kind of stuff because they don't talk about it. John W. Henry's done about like 3 interviews his entire life of LFC, and every time we've made a mistake or they've made a mistake, they've apologised. Yeah, okay, yeah, it might not be the apology that you want, but they've still come out and apologised. And every single decision they've made that's pissed the fans off. There's the flip side of the other coin to understand why they've done it. And there always is. There's always an element of it that goes, oh yeah, I can understand why you wanted to join the Super League. Oh yeah, I can understand why you wanted to sell the name of the club. Oh yeah, I can understand why you've why the club is paying for the stand. Oh yeah, I can understand, and you can, but then you can also see it from a fan's point of view that you don't like that. But they're not thinking as fans; they're thinking as business owners, because that's what they are. They own lots of different businesses, which make them lots of money. So I can understand it if it's a Liverpool owner who's a fan of the club. They probably won't make decisions like that. But they're not fans of the club. Like, when are we ever going to understand that? They have no affiliation to Liverpool apart from it's part of their portfolio. Like, we really have to step away from that and understand that it's like me owning a McDonald's. You know, it's a franchise. You know, I've got no affiliation to them. I don't care as long as I make my money off that company. You know, that's the same with their portfolio. They own lots of different clubs. They're not supporters. And John W. Henry is only one of like 14 people that own LFC. Like, most of the stuff you're ever going to hear about LFC is probably from LeBron James's mouth. And he owns like 2%. He's got no input whatsoever into Liverpool, apart from he got a nice merchandising contract from Nike for his stuff. But
Do you know how much that LeBron James got in his first year because of those shares? That 2%
oh God,
share.
he would have made a fortune off us.
31 million he got. LeBron James.
Didn't he only pay didn't he only put 8 million in or something?
Yeah, he only put his name on the paper.
Yeah, but why is people like that even involved in our club, man? The guy's devil
Because
worshipper, man.
the
You know
reason
what I
why,
mean?
the reason why, JK,
Devil worshipped in America. He's got nothing to do with me. And he's got nothing to do with K-Mac, you, JK. He's got all the lads and girls on here. He's got nothing at all to do with us. He's a baseball. What is he? He's a baseball player.
Basketball. It's just a name. It's just a name to put next to the portfolio of Liverpool FC. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. And also, you have to think about it like this as well. If they decide to buy a basketball team, they've got a really, really good name to put towards basketball. And they could also affiliate Liverpool with basketball if they wanted. You know, Real Madrid have got a basketball team. Barcelona have got a basketball team. You know, they could affiliate Liverpool with a basketball team. So it's another name. Like, and also, if we'd have got Mbappe, say for example, he's one of the Nike icons, and so is LeBron James. So there's a connection there as well. You know, we have to look at players as commodities as well, like that. So I understand why you'd want him on your portfolio. And I've also bought the jumper as well, which is really cool.
Well, I've got private messages here. I can't even.
Is it going crazy because of this show?
Oh yeah, he
said. We were going to talk about Forest.
Oh, well, this fella, he's a good friend of mine. This fella, and it's not Steve Evans this time. It's another lad. Not having this FSG appreciation, mate. They are lying at something ends of, and that's what he says. And he's anyway. Let's get on to this. Let's get on Jean Gray, and I'll go to you. JK. The only time I've questioned Klopp was when all our backroom sporting D's, etc., started leaving. I was convinced it had to be Klopp, why they all left. But I just do love that man. That's what Jean says. That's what Jean says. What do you think there? And fully enough, he is on a retainer for the Americans. This message has just come through to me. And that's what it says about Klopp, that is. He's on a retainer. And go ahead. I'm sorry, JK.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, when you look at the 9 years that Klopp's been with us, which players has he really fell out with? Sacco was one. There's not been many more. So for me, Klopp is a guy where if you've got a right attitude, he'll get on with you. So the reason why all them sporting directors want to leave, maybe the budget weren't big enough for them to move. So you got to look at it in both ways. For me, Klopp is a likable guy. I would think it would be easy to get on with him. So to work with him, probably when he walks in the room, you're going to start smiling, you know. Yeah, he might be sort of adamant in certain topics and this, that, and the other. But all in all, I would think it will be easier to work with Klopp than to work with a smaller budget than, say, Man City, United, Arsenal, whoever.
Okay. Well, what do you think? Realism, Jared, and he says, can we refrain from bringing up players' personal life into conversation? That is out of order. Have we brought up personal?
I think that might be in the chat.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't brought anything up.
No, I
don't
haven't.
do that. What was the question again? I'm sorry, Frank. What was the question you said to JK? That kind of threw me off what he wrote. Sorry.
No, it doesn't matter. We'll have to carry on.
Oh yeah. So it was what Jean Grey wrote, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if we look at it like this, okay. So Jürgen worked with I think his name was Zorg, who was the director of football at Borussia Dortmund. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a really good relationship with him, and they did really well together. And the reason why it worked, and this is out of Zerg's mouth, okay, not mine. If there's no noise around Jürgen, he does the best job. Okay, when there's no noise. Okay. All Jürgen did in the end was just create loads of noise, because he got rid of everybody. Everybody wanted to leave. There was so much disarray in the back room that his own right-hand man, Buvach, left, and we still don't know why he left. Okay, look, what can happen, and this happened with Brendan Rodgers, by the way. So I'm using him as an example. You go from a club to another club, which is probably one or two, maybe three of the biggest clubs history-wise in the entire world. Okay, and it just is. Okay, through what we've won, what we've done, all the things that have happened to us, it just is. Liverpool is just it's a monster. And he's come into the club, and he's become an ego, and he got a big ego, and you can't say he didn't, because he got the keys to the city. He started doing loads of adverts. He got new teeth. You know what I mean? He changed. He changed as a person, and we can't say he didn't, because he did. You just watched it happen. And then your director of football leaves because your manager is undermining him. And he came out and said it. You could look at the articles. It was in The Athletic. There was loads of stuff that came out. Well, and he wasn't getting listened to. And his own manager undermined him and didn't want to sell players, when his job isn't in charge of selling players or buying players. That's the director of football's job. And I'm not being funny, but he was the fucking best in the world at doing it. How much money did we make off crap players? And how many good players did we get for cheap? Like, he was incredible at it. He had 100% track record. Yes. So things change. And this is our moment where things have changed now. And things are going to change now.
Well, I'm going to go to a couple of...
He got new teeth.
He's got new eyes. So forget
that's a bit weird as well, yeah.
Got new eyes.
New eyes and new teeth.
Well, you know what? Why not?
Everyone would get logos with a baseball cap and the glasses, remember?
Yeah.
But he's gave us 9 years of his life. You know,
No. I love
he can
him.
get whatever he wants.
I hope
I'm
people
not
out
arguing
there.
with you about that. Like, seriously, JK, stop coming at me. We're not arguing about that.
I'm not coming at you, but like him doing Weinsteiner beer adverts and stuff like that. You know, that's just like the cherry on the top. A lot of
That's
people do
FSG,
it.
mate. That's FSG. He gets that through FSG. Trust me. They turned him into a global superstar. They did.
Okay.
Their marketing
Yeah, but
is
he's turned their
top
club into a
notch.
£5 billion
Hell yeah.
club. You know, so it
Hell
works
yeah.
both ways. It works
They're
both
good
ways.
owners. They made loads of money.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something quickly about the owners. All in all, when you look at them, good owners. They've got a training ground, the stadium done, this, that, and the other. But for me, I think they were just about 50% too tight. You know, some transfer windows after the Champions League win gave us £5. Just stuff like that. It's just, and then like football jerseys, I was paying like 45 quid back in the, not even long ago. Now you're paying 140. It's just stuff like this, you know. I think it was Steve in the comments.
Mate. It's all going to come out in the wash. I'm telling you. The money's always been there. I'm telling you.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, but
okay. Let's try and. It's the first time I've ever heard JK get excited. Shouting at him.
No. I just feel that Klopp deserves a little bit more respect.
No, I've got total respect for him, JK.
Me too.
And everybody knows that.
Me too.
I love the man. He even waved to me at the Southampton game.
JK's the best football I've ever seen in my life. It's the best times of my life.
Yeah.
He's absolutely amazing. Okay. I've never. Look. He deserves some criticism. We've got one league title. One league title in 8 years, mate.
That's poor.
And we've been 1 point away twice. Like, it's hard not to criticise when you're that close. You've lost a number of finals. Like, he's even come out and said, "Look, I lose finals." Like, well, why are you losing finals, Jürgen? Why aren't you winning more finals?
Yeah, he said that, didn't he?
I think, like, some of his decisions are bonkers. Like, they have been bonkers in seasons, and you know, this year is all rainbows and fluffy clouds, whatever. Like, you know, but it's still been really tough this year, mate.
Of course, that's football. You know, that's football. It's ups and downs, but sort of excitement. You know, last minute winners. It's the reason why we watch the game. You know,
that's football under Jürgen Klopp, mate.
I love it like that.
Football under Jürgen Klopp. Next manager, Amarin, Alonso. We're winning the league by 10 points, mate.
Okay, can I?
By 10 points.
Can I bring in some of the lads here, you know, and girls, and realism, Jared? Let me go through a few comments, please, because they're interacting with us and they deserve to be read out, these comments. Twice Klopp was talked out of leaving, once by Mike Gordon and then by his wife. To be honest, blame can be spread around to all in equal measure. And he's so right there. And Norman says Milner
100%.
was kept on far too long. I said that myself. I've always said that. I wanted him to go 3 seasons ago, to be honest. I can't. Should have sold Salah in January too.
No.
And boom. Is Klopp leaving before his contract is up? You wouldn't, Coco.
No, it's a year earlier. Yeah. 26 his contract was.
Now, here's what Boom says as well, and I'll go on to Anfield Roar, and then you can come in and see what is like then, you know. We'll have Vixen Gillette type owners again at some stage, and people will wonder why they carried so much negative energy around FSG. Okay, Anfield Roar. This documentary will be interesting to watch. Probably like a lot of these docs, it will reveal nothing. I says Anfield Roar. I agree there. I really agree. And now I want you to come in, and Lee says FSG are masters of gliding the lily. That's Steve Evans, and they are actually. Well, okay, I'm bringing in George now. I wonder
Hello,
if
Frank.
Hi, George. There's
Hello there,
K
George.
back and there's
Hi, George.
JK.
Easy, bro.
Hey, K-Mac.
All right, George. I think you probably came in at the right time when we stopped talking about that now.
Oh yeah.
I've just come in the door. I just took my jersey off and come straight into the room, Frank. I've been away all day.
So how did your golf go, George? Was it good?
Yeah, I won.
Go on.
That's always good.
Yeah, it's the
Hole in one.
first time I've played 18 holes of golf this year because of the weather
Uh-huh.
and the courses are closed. I was at Southport in Ainsdale. It was gorgeous. Yeah, had a great day. Really enjoyed it. It's nice bit of exercise, Frank. You know, Shags
Yeah.
wouldn't have liked it. He didn't like golf.
Oh, go away.
No, he didn't like golf. He said he made you one paced. Keep off the golf course, son. But I never listened to him. It's the one thing I didn't listen to him about.
We beat I'll tell you what. Oh, sorry. I'll
When
just.
you're playing golf, Frank, you get the exercise and you get the competitive and you get the banter in the dressing room. It's just like football in that sense. That's why I like it.
No,
Anyway, nice to see you all, lads. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you.
I'd rather go fell walking, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't walk, you know. I run up them.
Well,
And
they
then
say golf's a good walk spoiled.
And K Mac is very impressed with what I just said there.
That's a good one.
Fell walking.
No, I love golf.
Okay, Fraudiola would never have done the job that Jürgen has done. That's he means Pep there. Anyone who thinks he would is off their nut. Brenda is another fraud. That's that's what he says. And I'll tell you what we were talking about. To be honest, we were talking about how is who's going to be the next manager. That's what they've all said. Who's going to be our next manager? If you take out Xabi Alonso out of the equation, and this is hypothetical coming from me, by the way, because I do know a little bit. And George, saying that you've just come in from golf and you're feeling everything. Without Xabi Alonso, let's take him out of the equation. Who would you like to see as manager?
I think there's very few people that can actually take on that role that you can think of off the top of your head. Amarin, I suppose, the one lad we were talking about on the last podcast, he looks as if he's a tasty sort of performer. He might fit the role quite well. I can't see anybody in the UK. I wouldn't like De Zerbi, and I'm not sure about the Tottenham manager, to be honest. So it's a difficult one, really, to be honest, but they're going to have to sort it out doubly quick, aren't they? Because, 2-3 months' time, we need somebody in the job before that, even taking the agreement. I don't know, you see, Frank, you don't know what the negotiations that have been going on, do you, behind the scenes? We just don't know. I mean, Xavi is supposed to be negotiating with Bayern. I don't know whether that's done and dusted or whether it's just talking to him. And you just don't know. So many smoke screens go up in the football industry these days. So much spin goes on. I don't know. I mean, I'm a bit of a loss, Frank. I hope Michael Edwards comes back because he's got more idea than me. And I think he might be the guy that's got the knowledge to go and get somebody who fits the bill,
Well, I think K Mac's is gonna propose to you after what you've just been saying. Anyway, I'm gonna go to JK. Take the
All
other
about opinions,
fellow.
Frank. All about opinions.
Of course. I'm gonna go to JK and say, take Xabi out of the equation. Who would you like to see as manager?
Daryl Merry.
Who'd you say?
Daryl Merry.
I thought you said Gary O'Neill. I was going to say that's
No,
a good
it's
shout.
Daryl. Oh, he's one of
That's a good shout.
He's
But
one of
Gary's
our-
all right, Gary O'Neill. Not
I
bad.
rate Gary O'Neill big time. Really,
He's
do.
all right.
But not just yet. Not just yet.
Yeah, it's the Wolves manager, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about him the other day. I was like,
He's
what?
got a
He's
big
doing pretty
career.
wonders. He's doing all right. He is. Yeah, that manager topic, I can't really, because like the new newspaper articles, Alonso's going Bayern. Next day is Liverpool. I don't really want to get caught up in that. So for me, whoever it is, I just wish him luck, you know. Fits as long as he's got a big personality. He's got to have a big personality. So that's important.
Yeah, you're right there, Kim. Must have a big personality. It's such a huge club. You can't have anybody coming in there that hasn't got the opportunity to light the club up, just like Klopp's done. That's going to be a hard act to follow. If we win 4 trophies, you know, it's a hell of an act to follow, even if we win a couple this year.
Agreed.
I mean, I have to say, I love Klopp. I think what Klopp's done for the club is amazing over the last 9 years. You know, I know he's had his ups and downs, possibly with the owners and other problems and God knows what else, but he's been 9 years at the club. He's won every trophy available to him. And here we are with just a few months to go, top of the league against class teams like Arsenal and Man City, ahead of them in the league. Half the team decimated by injuries, and he's still getting performances out of them and these young lads coming through in the academy. What's not to like? You know, we're very lucky, you know. We look at these other teams like Forest and Everton and even right down below Arsenal and Man City. There's nobody like us at the moment, is there? We're right up there flying high. If we beat Man City, which I do think we will beat Man City, if we beat Man City and then Arsenal go to Man City and take a point off them, you know, we're in business. I'm really optimistic and excited about the next 3 or 4 months. As long as we can get some of the big players back, I think we need Nunes to be there, we need Salah to be there, and we need Diaz to be there up front, and we need Kanate and Van Dijk and Robertson and all these guys fit for the City game, if possible. I don't know whether it's possible, but if so, we do need that because they're a fantastic team, City. But we're a fantastic team. We've got a huge crowd back in the Anfield.
Okay, well, we were talking about the likes of, you know, who would be like as the next manager, and as you mentioned about Michael Edwards as well, and K-Mac thinks that Amarin would be a better manager than Alonso.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. To me, Alonso's number one. As far as I'm concerned, I've always said that.
No,
because he's got the knowledge of Liverpool and the history of Liverpool and the passion for Liverpool.
I didn't mean to say that K-Mac said that Amarin's a better manager. What I meant to say that he'd be a better choice if Alonso wasn't called. My apologies there.
Yeah, that's right. He said that. I remember that last time. K-Mac said that.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, look, there's 4 managers that have all been talked about. Okay. So you've got Xabi Alonso, who was obviously an ex-player, which always helps, and he knows about the club. Okay, he doesn't know everything about the club, and he's not connected to the club apart from he was an ex-player. Like, let's just be honest, okay? Because he hasn't been at the club doing ambassador stuff or anything like that. He's been doing his own job as a manager for Bayer Leverkusen and also Real Sociedad when he was looking after the big team. So he's come back and did like charity games and stuff like that. Okay, like he's got no massive affiliation to Liverpool, so he doesn't know a lot about Liverpool.
Xabi Alonso?
Yeah,
he won't have.
Of course, he knows a lot about Liverpool. He played for the club, won the Champions League final.
I get that, but everyone's saying that like this guy's like totally involved with Liverpool. He's just not. Okay, he's just not. Like,
no, I'm not saying he's totally involved.
He's got his own job, and he's also Spanish. He's Spanish, and he was at Bayern Munich longer than Liverpool. Like, so he's got as much affiliation to Bayern Munich and Real Madrid than he has to Liverpool because he's just an ex-player. And they're also clubs that are looking at him as well. And this is what we have to look at. We've been really, really done in and hurt over the last couple of years because players have turned us down and gone to bigger clubs. But they're not bigger clubs than Liverpool to the fans, but they are to them. Jude Bellingham, Tchouameni, just to name a few, okay?
Well, I'm glad Caicedo and Lava turned us down.
Yeah, exactly. So they've gone to different clubs and they've turned Liverpool down. Do we really want to be in a fight with Xabi Alonso, with Bayern Munich and Real Madrid? Do we really want to be in that fight all the way to the bitter end for him to go to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich? When Ruben Amorim is sat there right now, Ruben Amorim sat there right now, ready for the next step. He's right there around for the next step. And he's about to win the league this year for them, which will be his second title or third title. Xabi Alonso has played 26 games in the league and not been beaten once. We don't know what he's going to be like. We haven't got a sample size on this guy.
We don't
really
know what
haven't.
anybody's going to be like, K-Mac. We don't know what
Well, we
anybody's
do.
going to be like.
But
we know what Klopp's done.
We know exactly what Ruben Amorim's going to be like because he's been in the Champions League and he's been in the Europa League and he's won league titles and he's won cups and he's been doing the job for, I think it's like 4 years now. Xabi Alonso.
I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good manager. I said I think he'd be a good manager, but my choice would be Alonso. That's all I'm saying. I agree that Amorim would be my next choice. He'd be my second choice. He'd obviously be your first choice.
But no, but I
don't want to lose Klopp.
I'm not even. You know what? Fantastic. I'm not even saying it as that's going to be my first choice. That's going to be FSG's first choice because they're going to use the data.
How do you know that?
That's what they're going to do.
How do you know he's going to be their first choice? You got inside information.
Who are you going to go for if you're going to look at data? You're going to look at a guy that's won leagues and done the same type of stuff that Klopp has done. Because if you're looking at managers, you're looking at managers that FSG have hired previously, then you've got Jurgen Klopp, who won titles and got to finals and semi-finals, and that's exactly what Ruben Amorim's done. That's what he's done. That's what he's done in the past.
He's not in Klopp's league, in my view.
No, we're not going to get a Klopp.
Exactly. I don't need Pep and Klopp. You're not going to get anybody who's going to be as good as Klopp, are you? Let's be honest.
Well, you're not going to get a guy that's been to a Champions League final and won league titles.
Anyway, it's all about opinions. It's all about opinions. You know, you've got your opinion, I've got mine.
Or we are going to get that. But who are we going to go for? So if Xabi Alonso wins the league, and he gets to a Europa League final, then he's got 1 year of being in a major, not a major competition, but in a European competition where he's got to a final. And he's also won a league title. That's all you've got on Xabi Alonso. And you're going to throw him into a Liverpool job with
he's going to be coming into a squad which is pretty well developed, hasn't he? He's coming into a squad with great young players, with a great first-team squad. He's coming into a team that's on the up and on the rise. I mean, you know, if he's got something about him, then he should be more than able to get that team moving forward with what he's inherited from Klopp, just as Almiron should. I mean, anybody coming into Anfield now is going to inherit a fantastic operation. There's no doubt about that. Look where we are in the league. Look at the young boys coming through the academy. What other club's got 10, 11 young lads coming into the first team? I mean, it's incredible what Klopp's done. Absolutely outstanding. And that's the legacy for the next man, whoever he is. And if he's got anything about him, he'll be successful. If he hasn't, he'll fail. That's just my view, K-Mac.
Well, okay. I want Xabi myself, to be honest, because when he played for Liverpool, he loved Liverpool. I met him once, him and Arbeloa in Fenwick Street, and I was just chatting to them, normally. And Arbeloa, he said, "I love this city." He said, "It's a bit chilly, even in the summer." He said, "But that suits me." And Xabi said, "I told you you'd love it, didn't I?" That's what he said. I told you you'd love it. And that's what, you know, that was the camaraderie between those two, the city and us fans, because he went on about the fans. And I think he would, I'd rather have him than no one who doesn't know our club, and that includes Amorim, because I think
all the ex-players love Liverpool, don't they, Frank? Ex-players.
Absolutely. Well, we know, don't we, George? We know that they love
it. I mean, even myself, I was here 50, 60 years ago, and I'm still love Liverpool. And, you know, all the other modern players that have left, they all say on the media how much they love Liverpool and how much they look at Liverpool's results. And the big Liverpool fans, most of them anyway.
Okay. Well, what about you? JK, you know, taking him out the way. I'm talking about Xabi, you know, taking him out of the equation. Who would you like to see? Would you like to see Amorim, by the way?
I think Daryl Merry sounds like the easy option now. It depends on your cup of tea, bro. You know, I just feel it's out of them two guys there. But it's a lot of paper talk, so I'm not going to go with paper talk. I'm just waiting for the day when it's official.
Exactly.
I think realistically, I'm more bothered about our league title push at this very moment. The manager's sort of drifted away ever since Klopp said he's going. Yeah, at that moment, I was very interested in the topic, but the more and more we've kept on winning, them sort of topics have actually hit. I'm not really even thinking about that.
I agree.
Yeah, it's the best way as well, George. By winning, it just takes away, it distracts other topics.
Let's support the club and let's get these trophies won. Then we can start talking about next season in the future and all that. As supporters, I mean.
Yeah. So I'm on that trip, Frank.
Well, when Neil, when that lad, whoever it was, I forget who it was, said we should have sold Mo Salah and good job you, Ernie, George. Should have sold Mo Salah in January. And Neil Broderick's come on and says, sell Mo. I'm out, good night. And he's just, you know, and this is what people feel about Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Mo Salah. I'm just so happy that he's playing against City, but I still think that he needs a few minutes on Thursday against, which I'll be talking about in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah.
To get away from this.
We're so lucky to have been watching him for the last 4 or 5 years. He's a fantastic career at Anfield, isn't he? All things come to an end eventually, I suppose, but I hope it's not for a while.
The thing about it, though, with a player is, I don't think there's many players that you can drop into a game cold, and they would just be incredible. But I think Mo, you could.
Yeah.
Like, you could just play him against Man City, and he's not played before, and he'll just get like a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He did it against Brentford.
There's not many players that can do that, but I think Mo can. Like, he's one of them that would, and Virgil as well. Like, I don't think there's many players that you can just go, you've been out for a few months, there you go, oh bang, you know. But I think Mo does that.
Yeah, he came on against Brentford, didn't he, like that? And he came on and
was it like a goal and an assist, wasn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
What about this fella, lads? And now I follow Serie A, and I also support two teams. I support Inter, and I also support Napoli, and I watch them like I watch Liverpool. Don't bother with anyone else. I watch these two. Now I'll go straight to you, K-Man. Simone Inzaghi is a candidate. He has done well at Inter. Then we can bring in Lautaro Martinez. What do you think of that statement there?
No, I think I don't like Lautaro Martinez. He's injury prone. Wasn't he out for like?
Yeah, he was out
for like a year or something recently.
Yeah, out for ages.
Yeah, and he's past it now. To be honest, he's quite old now.
He's got a kick the other night, though. I seen it.
Oh, did he? Well, it is Italy.
Go on.
It is Italy.
Go on.
Robbie Keane did well in Italy as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like the football they play. That's not the AC Milan manager, is it? Is that Inter Milan?
No, the Inter.
AC Milan. Is he AC?
Yeah, Inter.
Oh, he's Inter. Okay, the AC plays some decent football.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, is he the guy that got to like the semi-final of the Champions League or the final of the Champions League?
Yeah.
Inzaghi. I think
he was, wasn't he?
He was a player.
Inzaghi, yeah.
Didn't they get to Didn't they get to the final recently, or the semi-final recently?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
I forget who they played.
I mean, he's got the data's there. Didn't they aren't they like 10 points clear as well or something like that?
Yeah, they're skimming it. Yeah, they're absolutely brilliant.
There's only been really one season, hasn't it, that they haven't been.
Yeah.
And that was against Napoli. That was the Napoli season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a friend over in.
He's going to be on the list.
I've got a friend a great Inter supporter, Claudia Bragoli, and she's a Red as well. She's a Red. She lives in Italy, and she said that Inzaghi would be a great manager for Liverpool. That's what she said, and she knows her stuff as well. But I'm just saying that.
I mean, if you're looking at managers that are top of the game, like doing well in leagues, getting to finals, and the data's there, then Inzaghi's going to be on the list. Like, he would be on the list. Like he was probably on the list for the Italy job as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like he'll be high up. He'll be high
They'll need
up.
to be looking at all of them, aren't they? They'll need to be looking at all of them, really.
I mean, and it's not like Italian managers don't do well in the Premier League. They've got a decent track record.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can I just give out a message?
I mean, even Ranieri won a Premier League.
He did with Leicester, yeah.
Mancini.
Got rid of them and look where they are now.
Conte. Mancini, Conte. I like Mancini, by the way.
Yeah.
Really, really good manager.
Yeah,
I would have liked him a while ago.
He was brilliant.
Yeah.
Mancini. Absolutely brilliant. Can I just... I'm sure they're going to... I love Lonzi. I want Lonzi. This is Gene.
Alonso. Translate.
Yeah. But if Gerrard is anything...
That was the Godfather.
Right. But anyway, this is what she's saying. I prefer Lonzi stays in Europe, learn how to lose and fight and come back, gain more experience. LFC is going nowhere. He's always welcome, to be honest. Okay. I want you to just... Right, okay. I'll go to Boom. I want you to discuss that. I think someone's banging on my door here. And there's no Klopp level. There's no Klopp level manager available. We need to be realistic about it. Alonso isn't a safe choice. It could work out really well, but it's far from a guarantee. I'll go to you, JK, and while I do this thing here, go on. Just discuss that, please, for a moment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, you know. Like, remember the old days where if you needed a striker, number 9, you could choose from 10. You only can choose from 3, 4 now. The same goes with managers. I don't know where the hell they've gone. You know, where are the managers? You got Klopp, you got Pep. They're the 2 top dogs. But after that, it's not great. Like the old days, you know, where you'd have so many managers to choose from, central midfielders as well. It's just like them sort of positions up front, central midfield, even centre backs. The lack of quality like it used to be. These guys are getting paid more nowadays. The training facilities are 1,000 times better, but for some reason, they're not so good as the guys who were back in the days. And I feel the same with managers as well. Alonso, very inexperienced. You know, he just started his journey on that manager's trip. Is it a gamble? Of course, but I think because it's Liverpool FC and the way we are to our managers and our players, even if we didn't have a great start, even a great season, we'll still be okay with him for the season after, you know. I think he hasn't got that pressure if he came to us, for example. If he went to Bayern, Alonso, different story there. They don't mess about. Tuchel's known for a long time he's going. He's still there today, but he's known for a long time. So I can't really say about the whole managers topic, who I want, this, that, and the other. I just concentrating on what can we win this season with this manager we got now.
Yeah, and it's a tough job now, manager's job, because there's so much power in the players. The players have got so much power. The money they get paid, the agents, and it's changed from my day and even from the 90s. You know, the way the game is now, it's a different game for people to manage. I mean, you know, and I think, as you said, Klopp's done an astounding job in team spirit and things like that, you know, under the circumstances. There used to be a period when, as you say, a managerial merry-go-round, there was always somebody's name in the frame. You always had Moyes and Big Sam, and they all lost a job, got a job, went to another club. But it's different now. It's worldwide. You're looking through Europe, not just in the British Isles. And there's no great British managers around, in my view, at the moment. Can't think of one, really, at the moment. This is the top of the game. So, you know, we're in a bit of a pickle with this situation. I wish we weren't in it. And I'm not quite sure how we landed in it. You may have discussed that earlier in the pod, I don't know. But it's it's annoying, really, that it's been allowed to happen. But, strange timing for Jurgen Klopp to offer his resignation when he did, the way we're playing, coming towards the end of the season. And he might get away with it because he might win the 4 trophies and it would be unbelievable. But it could have went the other way. If they'd gone the other way and we started losing games, I think, fans could have turned. And fans are fickle. They only want to win, You see that game in Notts Forest at the weekend, we got that last-minute winner. It was fantastic elation, but they've gone the other way and Forest had got the goal. You're starting to think, bad stuff. So we're in a good position at the moment. As I said earlier, we've got big games coming up. So I'm thinking about that, JK and K-Mac. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about every minute a week against Man City. If you got to win.
That Forest game, my God, that was unbelievable. That took us through every emotion again. Every single Liverpool game at the moment takes us through every emotion.
And when you listen on the radio, it's even worse. You listen on the radio.
I was watching it on a really bad signal on my phone in a tattoo parlour. It was like going in and out.
Ready to walk out the room. I got to the door and I just heard this raised voice. Nunes!
I was like, he scored! And I jumped up and started screaming in the tattoo parlour. And I thought maybe someone might have tattooed something wrong.
I was waiting for VAR
while I was screaming.
I thought something's going to happen here. VAR will come in.
I was waiting as well.
That's why I couldn't celebrate, and that's the problem with VAR. You couldn't celebrate. I celebrated.
That's exactly why I've never been to a game since VAR came in, because you just can't. You can't celebrate.
True.
Yeah, no. You're right.
It takes away that
3 seconds
euphoria, which was what was so good about football. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it's offside or not offside, whether it should have been a goal or it was a goal because the whistle blew and it was a goal, and you celebrate. But now it's you can't
let yourself
weird. It's robotic. Weird.
Do you think, does the panel think here? I just want to give a message out to Jean. Jean, send me your phone number, please. Just send me your phone number through on that messenger thing. Please send it. Okay. I just want to go on about VAR simply because as it made the game, you were saying there, Kate, about, it stopped all the euphoria when you played, when you scored a goal and whatever. Now, we always argued about referees, linesmen, everything before VAR, before this always come in. And it was a good argument. It was a good banter. It was good whatever. And this is in the pub afterwards or wherever the next day, right? So we always had a little argument. VAR came in to stop all that argument, supposed to.
Yeah,
it's caused more arguments simply because they're getting it wrong week after week. So I'll go to you. I'll go straight to you, K-Mac. And what do you think of what I've just said there?
Look, for me, I think it's ruined the game. I think it's ruined 100%. Everything about it. I even think the players are affected by it as well. Now, VAR it's an element which has been put into the game to make it, I don't know, maybe more marketable, maybe more watchable for other people because of the drama. I don't know. It's not football anymore.
No.
That element has been taken away from it. Can you imagine being a player and scoring imagine Nunes scoring that goal? Yeah, he ran over to the crowd and kicked the thing and jumped in the crowd and and then it's disallowed.
Absolutely.
And he got injured.
yeah. And then it's disallowed. You know what I mean? It's that should never be disallowed. It should just be that's your goal, done. That's it.
You know what I do?
I thought VAR was brought in. I thought VAR was brought in for penalties and a clear and obvious thing.
All right.
They can't even get that right now because they've changed the rules of penalties since VAR came in so much. Why do they keep on changing the rules of penalties? No one knows what's a penalty now. You can basically play basketball now and it's not a penalty.
It's just
I don't know.
ridiculous.
I think there needs to be an element in it where there's no grey area, like they're doing in Europe with the automated AI system, where it's just a goal. Like, that's it. It's just a penalty. It's just offside. There's no other people deciding whether it is or it isn't. It's a computer doing it. I'm fine with that, because you've just got an answer. Like, we just need an answer straight away.
Yeah.
The thing is, K-Mac, the game's about passion, isn't it? It's about scoring goals. It's about the crowd erupting, the player jumping over the barrier like Dalglish did in Wembley, and up to the crowd. That's what the game's all about, in my view. When I played, and we knew the score, as Frank said, we'd argue with the referees, might get sent off, have a go at them, they had a little go back. The decision stood because the linesman put his flag up immediately. It was offside. And it was offside. That was it. We couldn't argue. But at the end of the day, you knew where you stood. You put the ball in the net. It was a goal. Now, you just don't, as you said, you just don't know whether it's a goal or not. It's crazy. I thought it should come in for goal line technology, which I thought was brilliant. Yeah. Because, that's really, really good. That just, you can see if it's over the line or not. But you got players now going out with their hands behind their backs. What's that all about? You need your hands to balance yourself, And all of a sudden it comes off your head and hits your hand. It's a penalty. It's going out of play, by the way, behind the goal. No danger, and it's a penalty. Or it's not a penalty. I just don't understand the game at all. The way they come to these decisions is crazy. It's not. Look at Chelsea in the final. We got a goal disallowed. A few days later, Manchester United, the same thing happened.
And there's counters.
You mentioned there, George, about goal line technology. That's where they tested the water. And they told people, they love this. So they started going on about this VAR thing, offsides and penalties and, anything, that. But what got me, and which upset me, was the way VAR got involved the last time with, when Virgil scored, as you just mentioned, about that. And they got involved.
Yeah.
They said to the linesman, the ref, listen, we've seen something there. We want to have a look at it. And then we want you to have a look at it. And they disallowed a perfectly good goal.
Beautiful.
That for me has ruined it. And now we've got a sin bin coming in. Which I think...
This is...
Please no.
That's going to kill it, by the way. That's just going to kill it. And the reason why it's going to kill it, and I'll be completely honest, it's going to produce more injuries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How can you have a player come off the pitch and then go back on the pitch? Yeah. What's he doing on the touchline? Is he warming up all the time, like running up and down on the touchline, like on an exercise bike in the background or something? Like, how is that even going to work?
Yeah,
he's going to come on the pitch and do his hamstrings.
Yeah, you will.
Like in the first sprint.
That's exactly what would happen. I can tell you from experience. That's exactly what would happen.
Crazy. They're not even thinking about players' welfare now. Like, it's about entertainment.
I'd rather see 2 linesmen extra, 1 on each side. Each one has a half each. So you got a 50-year-old guy freezing, and he's running up and down Anfield. I'm thinking, why don't you just give a half each to 4 players, 4 guys? So he didn't have to overcomplicate the matter. He's just got his half, what he has to look at. So they can't really make a mistake there. There's 4 guys doing it, not just the 2 50-year-old guys, 60. I don't know how old these guys are,
Yeah, but JK, it worked perfectly for about 100 years. Mm-hmm. It worked perfectly. 2 linesmen. It worked perfectly for all these years that I played and beyond. Why shouldn't it work now? I mean, you just don't understand it really.
It's never been broken.
No,
when has it ever been broken?
No. It's never been broken.
I think the only mistake I've ever seen was when a ball went into the net against QPR, I think it was, and it hit the stanchion and came back out, and it wasn't given as a goal.
That's right.
That's the biggest mistake I've ever seen in football.
Yeah.
And that was just like, it just got missed. And I think there was one that maybe went in the side netting and it was counted as a goal, but that's because the side netting wasn't tied on properly. And
but at the end of the day,
a million games that have been played in that time.
At the end of the day, it's all about somebody's opinion. It's either the linesman's opinion, the VAR guy's opinion, or the referee's opinion. So his opinion could be different from his opinion. And your best just, I thought you should have just left that as it was and just had goal line technology, personally.
Yeah.
But the thing about it as well is when it came in, we all knew how it was going to end up because the VAR people are referees. So they're not going to throw their own mates under the bus because guess what? He's going to be in the VAR room next week, and you're going to be reffing, and you're going to be like, "Oh shit, I gave a bad decision against him. He's going to do the same for me."
That's why when they go to the monitor, when they go to the monitor, they always go with the VAR decision.
Yeah,
they never go back and say, "I'm sticking with my decision."
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he runs towards that monitor, you know it's a penalty.
But I think also
the thing about it as well, and this is the perfect solution, by the way. Why don't we just buy an off-the-wall product which has been working for years and years, and it's called Hawkeye, and they use it in tennis, and they use it in rugby, and they use it in cricket, and guess what? It works, and that's a ball which is a lot smaller, which drops on lines a lot smaller. And
but that's just jumping on the line, isn't it? It's not penalties and tripping somebody up or touching his heel.
No, but it's where the ball is. I'm talking about the decisions with offside and stuff like that. Yeah. And whether the ball went out of play and things like that. Like,
definitely,
just Hawkeye.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like,
look, at the end of the day, England has like 12 cameras for one camera for every 12 people. VAR is another excuse to bring cameras into your life. Simple as that.
Are we going down that road, are we?
Well, that's the bigger picture.
Hang on, boys. I think some good comments here. And Norman says, put the refs in the sin bin and seal the bloody thing. And Val says, they've ruined the game. End of story.
You're right, Lee.
Yep.
There's a question for you, George, which you'll go back to. And Anfield Ross says, all we ever wanted was a goal line technologies and penalties. Now we've ended up with 8 opinions, like George just said. They all love their mates, like K-Mac said. It's BS. And I believe that, well, Anfield Ross. All good comments there. Yeah. Right, and there's a question for you, George. And after this, when George answers, I'm going straight to you, K-Mac. Okay. And I'm going from the goalkeeper. This is for Thursday, by the way. I'm going from the goalkeeper, and then, go around again. Then you're back forth, then you're midfield, and then your forward line. But go with your goalkeeper first before anything. Then George will be next in there, JK. But there's your question, George. Am I right in saying Billy Liddell once hit the ball so hard it broke the net?
You probably are right. I'm not sure about that, but I remember one game. I wasn't there; it was before my time. But it was a snowy day. It was a snowy day, and he hit the ball from about 30 yards, and the referee blew his whistle when the ball was on the way into the net, and it caused chaos because the goal was disallowed. You might remember that, Frank.
Yes.
Fantastic goal, and it was disallowed. But he had a hell of a shot, Billy, and both feet. I scored a goal from a cross by Billy Liddell, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that was in Melwood when we were training, and Billy was watching the game. He had his overcoat on, and the ball went out over to the far side, and he booted the ball into the middle, and I was in the box, and I headed it in. So,
okay.
Cross by Billy Liddell.
That's Salah's next goal number to hit, isn't he? To overtake Billy Liddell, isn't it?
Yeah, Liverpool they called it, didn't they?
Yeah, that's his next.
Well, that was actually said, wasn't it, going back, that Billy Liddell did break the net, he hit it that hard. So I don't think it broke the net as such, but it could have took away, like the size, it pulled. It
was a heavy ball. It was a heavy ball he played with in the 50s.
Very heavy ball. And he could have half hit the heavy ball.
Covered in mud.
As Anfield Ross says, Jeremy Beadle had better technology than these useless sods. Watch out, the Beatles about the Beatles. But I'm going to you, and I'll go around to the lads. Welcome, 12th. what we're
Easy,
talking
bro.
about, we're going to give our team, okay, but I'm only asking the goalkeeper first. So
Oh.
just one, instead of going into the. Anyway, K-Mac knows what we're going to do. So, K-Mac, then I'm going to go to George, then to you, 12, then finally to JK because I'm going around that way. Right. Goalkeeper for Thursday.
Is this me?
Yes, you. Yeah.
Oh, Keller.
Okay. Go ahead, George.
It's a no-brainer. It's got to be Keller. I don't want Adrian. I don't want him.
12th, what about you?
Yeah, exactly. I go with the sentiment of the panel so far. Adrian, also, I want to say thank you and hello to the panel as well, and to
Easy, bro.
especially to the chat as well.
That's 12th, man. Great to see you.
Good to
Good
see
to see you,
all.
bro.
Good to see you.
Mate.
Easy, Brian. Hope you're cool, bro.
Oh, how's it going? I'm in the show. How's it going, lads? Hi, Frank.
All
How are
good,
you?
bro.
George, 12 man,
Yeah,
Mac, JK, everyone.
Brian.
Good evening. Hello.
the show's going terrible. There's been murder on here.
Again, it's just the right time, so yeah.
That was just me.
Okay, no, just JK, yeah.
That's why I love having
We're all
K-Mac.
Liverpool fans here, mate. We're all Liverpool fans here.
I love him, honestly. God, I love him. Anyway, I'm going over to you, George. Have you said you're yeah, I'm
Certainly
going over.
goalkeeper Kelleher, yeah.
Sorry.
That was the easy one.
What did you say, Twelve?
I said Kelleher for sure.
Okay. I'll go to you then, Brian. Who's your goalkeeper? Now, why am
Picking the team for flag, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, Kelleher, yeah, definitely. Kelleher, yeah.
Okay. JK.
Same as, bro. Same as.
See, don't forget that someone had mentioned, do you think that we should rest? We should rest Kelleher for the Manchester City game just in case. That's what someone mentioned, just in case. Okay. All right, I'll go to you again, K-Mac. I want you there. And don't forget, we're playing Sunday. We're playing against Man City. I want you back. You're back four.
Oh, okay. Okay, so left back's easy. That's going to be Shimikas. I would pick Gomez, Quansah, and Bradley.
Okay. George?
Yeah, I was going to say the same. I'd rest Kanate and I'd rest Van Dijk and I'd rest Robertson. Yeah. Same as Timo.
Okay. 12th.
This one is a little bit difficult for me because there's two players in particular that I want to see get rest. But I would have gone Bradley, Gomez, Quansah, and I want to say Tsimikas, but I also want to say I want to say Robbo. I want to see Robbo get some really solidified minutes and really get repositioned into a good role with this team. I think that he's kind of he's had some decent performances, but not Robbo style performances as of late. And I'd like to see him get some more rhythm. And so I was going to go possibly with Robbo on the left side.
Okay. That's what about you, Brian? What's your back for? Don't forget, bear in mind what we've got on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd be with the lads that with K-Mac and George, definitely Tsimikas, definitely Quansah, Bradley and Gomez. I'd like to be able to rest one of Bradley or Gomez.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure how we do it. So I think, 100% Tsimikas, Quansah, yeah, Bradley, yeah, that's good. Yeah, but fine with that one.
Okay. JK.
Prague, a bit of a nifty little team as well at home.
Yeah, they are.
They play all right football as well. So I want some wise heads at the back. So for me, Robertson and Gomez will give us that, hopefully, with Quansah and Bradley on the others, between them two.
Okay. All right. And just before I go to you again, Kmart, Rosa Flowers says, I'd start Costas and give Robbo 35 to 40 minutes. Norman says, Kelleher, Gomez, Robbo, Canate, Kwanzaa. Okay, that's what he says. And,
that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Okay. Right, over to you now. And this is where it's going to become a little difficult. This is my opinion, by the way. Your midfield, Kmart.
So I will say on Robbo, I think Robbo's done about 230 minutes in the last 5 games. So Robbo's had quite a big workload. And Tsimikas hasn't really done much at all. So I think we'll be fine with him. Midfield, Endo, because I want to get some minutes in Endo's legs.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't played for a bit. Bobby Clark, because Bobby Clark's solid. Had a couple of good games, and I'd like to get some time in Dominic Szoboszlai, because that Nottingham Forest game looked like we just brought a fan off the pitch onto the pitch. he was dogs.
Yeah, you're totally agree there.
Honestly, like
it was like bringing a fan on. Yeah, you're right.
It was like it was a competition. They won a competition to play for the last 20 minutes.
All right then. I think that's fair comments. What about you, George?
George, you could have came on. George, you could have came on and done a better job than him, mate, in the second half.
Yeah, a bit controversial, mine maybe. I like to see definitely see Szoboszlai playing, because I think he needs minutes, you know. McAllister could be rested, really. What I would say is when I choose these teams, I like the good players on the bench anyway, because it is a big game. You know, we want to go to Dublin, you know, so we don't want to just throw all our cards out, but we got to rest the boys, but I would have them on the bench. So I'd say Elliott, Szoboszlai and Endo. Elliott, Endo, Szoboszlai. To start with. I like Harvey Elliott. I think he does a good job.
Elliott's done over 360 minutes.
He can do it. He's a fit lad.
He can do it. He's young.
You can drag him off at half time and bring on Bobby Clark.
Yeah.
You might have to.
I think someone will have to be rested, in all honesty. All right, 12th is your 3 midfielders.
I'm going to go Dom on the right. I'll do Endo in the DM role. And I'm going to go with Clark on the left side. We will see Elliott. I just would like to see Elliott just get, 20, maybe 30 minutes, because we're going to probably most likely utilize him in that super sub role against City on Sunday. So I don't want to over use him.
He wasn't very happy when he got taken off, was he?
He wasn't. You saw that too, right? He was angry.
I just wrote that in the chat as well. That's really timing that you just said
it's
that.
It's not a bad thing, that, I mean, I didn't used to feel happy when I was taken off.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, people sometimes forget too that Elliott is a young lad. I mean, he's 21 years old. It's not like we're talking about an advanced age individual in Elliott. So
he's got boundless energy, that lad.
Yeah, I'd love to be 21 all over, certainly.
Okay, over to you, Brian. Who's your 3 midfielders?
I'd be the same as George. Endo, Szoboszlai, Elliott. I like that. I think it's kind of the opposite of starting the younger kids and having boys on the bench. I think in midfield, I just go with the slightly more. Definitely Szoboszlai needs those minutes.
Okay.
Endo come back in and Elliott will be fine, and then bring on a Clark or a McConnell. But that'd be mine. Endo, Elliott, Szoboszlai.
Okay. JK.
Yeah, just a quick thing about Elliott is, I said about 4 months ago, he reminds me of a Spanish type of midfielder, He's connecting in between the play. He just runs. And some people started laughing, but I just felt he's the closest I would say to Foden and Bernardo Silva type of midfielders we have. A guy who just goes between the lines, and would I be willing for him to start Thursday? The guy's he's been running a lot in the last few weeks, So I'd go with Endo for sure, Szoboszlai for sure, and then you can take your pick. You got Clark,
Yeah, exactly.
Elliott, even McAllister, for a half, if you want to risk him. Thing is, I want a clean sheet on Thursday.
Yeah.
I think that's important. So we've got to pick the team that's capable of getting a clean sheet. So we've got nothing to really do when we get the second leg at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm surprised any of you, I'm going back before I go over to you, K-Mac, about your three forwards, because we're going to play 4-3-3 anyway. So, but I'm surprised that not one of you has said that they'd bring a senior player in, and I'm even talking about the back four. The likes of Virgil, for example, playing like 45 minutes either off, or Canete playing.
I did have.
Oh yeah, I said they need to be on the bench. Come on.
I do. I was going to say.
Gomez. I'd consider Gomez a senior.
I say Gomez, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm look. You've got to look at the back four, right? So when they're all fit, who are you going to pick? You're not going to pick Joe, unfortunately.
No,
You're going to.
I did have a senior player though. I had a senior player. Rob. One of the major reasons why. I was going to say real quick. One of the major reasons why I picked Robbo. I know Brian and I differ on this philosophy, or at least this perception that I have of Klopp's picks. But what I tend to see Klopp do is implement someone from that leadership group that gets to go out on the pitch, leading the team out there. And Robbo is that's one of the major reasons why I did say Robbo, being obviously a senior player, being that candidate for this role. And if not Robbo, then I could see a Virgil van Dijk being in that role as well, just like we saw when they did the 45 minutes of Virgil and then the 45 minutes of Canate. But that's why I had one of the major reasons why I had Robbo is because of that reason.
Okay.
Remember last week, Frank? Virgil started against Southampton.
Yeah.
So maybe we will see him for a little part of the game. You never know. I think Southampton
came off for half time.
I think there'll be a few of them. I think there'll be a few of them actually. I'm being honest there.
I mean, the reason why Virgil played and Canate is because we didn't have any midfield, and we had to play Gomez as a DM.
Yeah.
We've got midfielders back. Virgil isn't playing. Virgil isn't even on the plane. Not a chance.
Okay. No, I think that's fine. I really think
Canate might be on the bench.
Because
maybe.
No matter what, we will have a strong back four, and we will have a strong midfield.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. I think we will, and I think lads will play, minutes that you don't expect to be coming on to play minutes. And I'm talking about, the senior players, the players that you will pick for the ordinary weekend's game, in the Premiership. Okay. Thanks, Jane. I'll have a look. Thank you. Okay, now, K-Mac. Bear in mind what I've just said. Your three forwards.
So I think Gapco will get another run. Because he's not going to play against City, so he'll get another run. God, it's a real difficult one because I want Nunes to get a bit of game time, but I don't want to risk him because he picks up silly injuries like cuts and bruises and
you
know what I mean. Yeah, I know. I'll probably bring him off the bench if we need to. I think Dan's or Kumas. So it might even be Gapco on the right, Dan's down the middle, Kumas on the left. genuinely do. I know it's a bit
I
mad.
think that's a
I
good
know it's a bit
show.
mad, but yeah,
No, I think
and
it's a
maybe
good show.
Salah and Nunes come off the bench for
Yeah.
for a little run out. You know, if we're like 2-0 up or whatever. I don't know. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting one.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good shout. Actually,
I mean, personally, I think Southampton were a much harder team than
Yeah, they were a
Slavia
good
Prague
side. They
or
looked
whatever
a
they're
good side
called.
that day, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, or
I think
Toulouse. I think
they're
Toulouse are
much
probably a
better
harder
than-
team to beat than them, and we played
Okay.
kids against them as well. So
Exactly. Well, Freedom says Gapco, Dance, and Diaz.
I don't know about
That's what he
Diaz.
says. And I'm going over to George now. So who are your front three?
Well, I'd have Gakpo, definitely. I've got a Gakpo, and I think I would have Dance because he looks a good player. Young lad, he started off fantastic. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of skill, a great stage for him to shine on. And then, I'd love to see Diaz playing because I think he caused a bit of havoc on a European stage. But again, we've got this big game coming up, so maybe I should have him on the bench. And I was very impressed by Kumas when he played against Southampton. He looked quite sharp, looked good, cutting inside and outside, So, but it was only a short time he was on. Playing in Europe's quite a big ask, but they've got the ability, these young lads. So I think, I'll go along with what K-Mac said. But certainly I want Salah to be on the bench and Nunes to be on the bench and Diaz to be on the bench because it's a big game. And I think they'll play a really strong team in the return leg because whatever the situation there is, that's one we need to win to get into the next round. And maybe less pressure being after Man City game. And they might be fitter then as well.
I think that's, yeah. Okay. I think
Those two got 3 goals in their last game, by the way.
Yes.
Those two kids.
There's no mugs. There's no mugs. I tell you what, there's no bad teams at that level.
As Neil H says, popcorn time. So he's inviting the kids on as well. So
Yeah.
And before I go to you, 12th, I just want to ask you to press the like button. Blimey.
Yeah, somebody's just.
I think someone did.
Someone just did.
Press the like button.
Frank.
Press the like button and subscribe just to get the algorithm out there. Please do that for me. And it's because this is your show. This is why we interact with you. And if you ever want to make a guest appearance, please just let me know and I'll have you on. I really will. So anyway, 12th, go ahead. Who's your front three?
Okay, so for my front three, this is, again, bearing in mind to think that this player I want to see get some minutes. It's not that I don't want to see him not. I want to see him get minutes, and I want to see him actually get utilized to a source that he can go out, he can get a nice little run, and then 50 minutes in or even at halftime get subbed in, basically do exactly what we did with Virgil in that game with Konate. Because I know that, the Virgil Van Dijk thing or trying to rest these very important players is important. But I would start Salah in this game, to be honest with you. I'd start Salah, Nunez, and Cody on the front three. It's very difficult to tell Mo that he's not going to start. Why not give him the start, play him for a half, and then move? I would have Harvey Elliott come in at a halftime or something like that and take him out.
Okay. Oh, I think that's good there. And no one's picked this, lads. Only Norman. Away in Europe was always keep the ball. Maybe McConnell would suit that. He is neat and tidy with his passes, and he is not afraid of the tackle. I think that, of a tackle. I think that's a very good comment, by the way. Okay, Brian, your front three, please.
Well, I hadn't really thought about it there until you were just saying it, because a lot of injuries, a lot of kind of bits and pieces. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Darwin. Give him a half, like we were talking about earlier on. You'd be surprised if he starts VBD or starts a Konate.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if Darwin gets, because he's he's only after coming on, so give him an hour maybe. Then you've got, like, we don't have much up front. Like, if we're Diaz surely has to start Gakpo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. So yeah, maybe I'll give it a Kumas. One of the kids, Kumas, Darwin, and Diaz.
Okay, I think that's good. And what about JK?
I want to see Salah and Darwin get minutes before the Man City game if they're going to be involved. So you can either start them, or you can bring them on second half. Depends on how you want to. Depends on how the game's going as well. But for me, like what 12 man said, starting them wouldn't be a bad thing, you know, and then bring them off instead of them jumping on in.
Easier to get into the flow of the game when you start games
at their own pace. Yeah, at their own pace instead of jumping on. We're 1-0 down, and you know what Darwin's like? He's on a mad thing. He wants that goal. He'll pull his bloody hamstring, the nutter.
Right.
So I'd rather start him and Salah slowly, and maybe even start them in this game. And then Diaz, Gakpo, whoever you want, even Kumas, even Dan's. You know, I think Dan's deserves game time as well because he likes getting involved, and maybe in a European game is perfect for him as well to do that in. So we have sort of got options. It just depends on the fitness levels of Salah and Darwin.
Yeah, I agree there because I want to see Salah play. I really do. And I'm not saying the full game, by the way, but I really need to see him having at least 30 minutes just to get him into that rhythm.
Be good to get the first goal, Frank, as well. Be good to get the first goal because then they're under pressure. They need to score 2 and have got them back at Anfield as well. So maybe an idea to start strong and take them off.
Yeah, we don't want to underestimate these guys.
Sorry,
we don't need to underestimate these. They are a good side.
No, as K-Mac said, they won the last game quite comfortably.
But this is why I want Salah to, I want him to start. Actually, I really want him to start. But if Klopp doesn't want to, risk him in the first half, bring him on anyway in the second half for at least 30 minutes. I want Nunes to play as well. I really want him to play. I want Szoboszlai to play.
The goal scorers, aren't they?
I want Szoboszlai to play, and I also want Endo to play. And who I'd put in as well, I'd put Virgil in to lead. I'd really put Virgil in there in the back to lead, whether it's the first or the second half. I want to see them there. And I go along with K-Mac, giving Robertson, some more minutes. To be honest, because he was knackered against Forest. He was tired. That's what I seen of Robertson. He was tired. Yeah. But anyway, that's it. And I'll just stay with you, K-Mac. What's your prediction?
4-1.
That'll do me.
Dan's with a couple.
Was anyone like Dan's to start, by the way? Was it?
Yeah.
I think
I would like to see Dan start. Yeah, I would like to see him start. Special talent, to be honest.
I've never seen a player in the Premier League at such a young age, by the way, just being so involved in everything, like right from the start.
Yeah.
Like he's literally in the thick of everything, like getting fouling people, like having shots, like having chances. I'm like, that's not meant to happen. You're 18. You're supposed to like keep a low profile and just
keep a low profile and
not run around like a bull in a china shop. He's basically like another Nunes, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He's a born striker, isn't he? He's done it under 18 level, under 21 level as well. He's scored loads and loads of goals wherever he's played, and he started like he started in the first team as well. So I think that'll be good if he starts. To be honest, Frank.
He looks like Calvert-Lewin.
Comes on against Forest and tries to kill their goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. What he did in that game was good. he got
gets
involved.
involved.
Yeah, yeah.
Gets involved in the penalty box. It's the same in the final, wasn't it? He nearly scored in the final.
If you look at the Núñez goal, the main marker on Núñez is in between Dan's and Núñez because he doesn't know where to be, Murillo. And that's because Dan's is in there. And I'm telling you, if Gakpo was on the pitch, Gakpo wouldn't have been there.
No.
He wouldn't have been there.
No.
Núñez like took away the marker. Sorry, not Núñez. Dan's took away the marker from Núñez. And all he had to do was jump up against the right back, Nico Williams, who's not the tallest. Anyway, sorry.
No, I think that's a good point because I want to see the young lad play, and you're talking about markers. I think Dan's has showed Gakpo how to score a goal. I really, even Kumas, showing that lads how to score a goal. The unfortunate thing, I think, that Gakpo shouldn't play. I don't think he should start. I think he should be dropped and told you drop because your form is lost. I think it was, I don't know whether it was Shankly or Bob Paisley, I'm not quite so sure. And he said, you cannot play a player into form. You've got to bring him out and tell him, and let's see how he trains.
Yeah.
Then bring him in if I see fit that he is in form. And that's, I forget who said it, whether it was Shanks or it was Paisley.
I think it was
Paisley. Because they would drop a player if they were, doing it. They just dropped them. That's where
I was thinking like playing against Sparta Prague, you're playing away from home, they're going to be coming at us, you would think. They need to score, don't they? They need to score. And I think, again, it's good if you've got pace up front. So I would like, going back on what I said, I'd like to see Diaz play half a game because he's been really dangerous in the last few games when he gets the ball on a run, and Núñez as well. But I don't want him playing the whole game, but I think they really need to come on and see if they can get a goal or two.
Yeah, well, even like the Vase of Flowers, Lee, he says, Dan's could start. Norman says, my front three is Dan's, Gakpo, Núñez, and Freedom Journey. More mature version than Núñez, though. That's what he says. And I don't know, I don't know. Oh, yeah, look. And Drunk Vigo says, Frank is an old school guy like me. I think you're right there. Captain Sell, what does he say? I'd play the kids on Thursday and save the main guys for the City game. And that's another thing.
We've got a good bench, haven't we? We've got a strong bench as well.
I think it's a very strong bench.
Well, I picked 5.
Not all 11.
No, I picked 5 under 21. 5 under 21-year-olds. I picked.
You haven't got enough.
What I will say though is we've scored 28 goals off the bench. No, we've scored 28 goals off the bench this season, and we've created 48 chances, as in goals, assists, off the bench this season.
Incredible.
So the bench could be really important for us in this game again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've also scored 16 goals after the 85th minute this season, which is an incredible stat. Yeah, 16. Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's an amazing stat, that.
Yeah, and Klopp's I think it's 8 goals after the 90th minute under Klopp as well. Something stupid like that. We've beaten 5 teams this season after the 85th minute as well. Scored the winner. It's just we are literally right at the last minute in all the games, and that's because of how good our bench is. So if we can bring a Salah and a Núñez off the bench against these guys,
we used to be like that in the early
2 or 3
as well.
I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, hang on a sec. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to go around. Okay. But I once came back because Mr. Statistician.
Mr. Data.
I took it off someone on the podcast, the Anfield Wrap. So that's not me on that one.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Let's say that again. Anyway, I want to go to K-Mac here. And it's about this. Do they still have a squad list for the Europa League that includes the kids?
I don't know. I think can't they play? Can't they play kids that are under 21?
Yeah,
they don't need to be registered.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just have to include.
We've got enough of them.
We've
got enough of those. Quants is in that list as well, I think.
Yeah, they've just put Adrian in.
Yeah.
Because Allison's out.
Okay. No, I think that's a very good question, and that's got me a little worried, to be honest, because
you've got to name the squad, haven't you? You've got to name the players.
Yeah.
There's so many non-foreign players or something.
And Jay says, I know Jay is a good lad. Dan's looks like a baby Chaos Nunes. I think that's a good one.
Well, I coined it.
Yeah. Could be a mini Ian Rush.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, well, Captain Sal says I'd give Salah 30 minutes in the second half. That's all.
Yeah, I said that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. I like that point.
As long as he scores 2 goals, he can come on whenever he wants for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Alfred Ross says, if Alex Ferguson was around today with his added time, Manchester United would never lose. Fergie time would be 30 minutes. And that's what, remember Rafa?
Yeah.
With his thing, his rant. And he was so right, to give that rant. Yet it was the way the papers spun it.
Yeah.
And made Rafa out to be, to look a fool. And he wasn't a fool because he was so right. He was getting at the referees and he was getting at Mr. Ferguson.
Just like Jürgen.
Yeah. And the Vase of Flowers, I think we should start in Prague with Dan's left wing, Nunes centre forwards, and Salah right wing.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
On the right wing. I'd play Diaz. Even if it's for half an hour.
I would definitely, Frank. He's dangerous at the moment. He's quick.
Absolutely. And yet, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but I'll go to you, K-Man. Why is
Ian asked a question, by the way. Sorry.
Salah? Sorry.
Ian answered your question about the rosters. Ian McHale has an answer in the chat for your question.
Okay.
What is it?
About the list that the submitted
list.
in B list.
And what did he say?
Says yes. Ian McHale says yes. They have submitted and B list into UEFA. All the kids, including Elliot, are on the B list.
Oh,
Excellent.
good. Nice one, Ian.
Made up, absolutely made up with that.
Can they rejig the list after the group stage? Can't you add and take away players from after the group stage? So we probably took away Matip, haven't we, off that list?
Yeah, we have.
So we've probably given ourselves some extra names.
And you wonder if Jota's been taken off as well?
Yeah, Jota could have been taken off as well.
Gone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there,
Sorry.
boys. And,
That's good. That's good.
I don't know. And the Anfield Ross.
Thiago would have been taken off as well, I think, because I think Thiago's done now.
Oh yeah.
Klopp's not even answering the question now. He just goes like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's strange, isn't it? That's strange because he's just. I'm sorry to say this, but he's been a waste of time. And once I think you came out with it, K-Mac.
Don't bring me into it. I got loads of penalties for talking about Thiago.
Oh no, it's what you said.
You're dropping me in it today, Frank. You really are.
No. You did say that Keita has played more games than Thiago.
Yeah, he has. We've also won more games with Keita. We've also won more games with Keita playing, by the way, but that's another story.
Keita was a brilliant player, and
I know he
people
was.
seem to forget that. But the unfortunate thing is, we don't need great players with long-term injuries.
The unfortunate thing, Frankie, was a bloody malingerer.
It was the Shanks.
He went to Wolfsburg and got injured for his game.
I think it sums it up. I think it just sums everything up about.
I think he had that same problem that Daniel Sturridge had, like towards the end of his career, where
really,
if he felt anything, he just wouldn't play.
Yeah.
Like twisted sock.
A shame.
Do you ever remember someone? Who was it? Was it Daniel Agger or someone damaged his was it a ladder or something? Do you ever remember that?
Yeah.
And he was injured for ages.
Was that Agger?
Dan Agger.
Agger was on a rock
Didn't we
jump.
have a goalkeeper? Didn't we have a goalkeeper that like broke his leg in the bath or something? Slipped in the shower. And then we had a goalkeeper that fell off his bike.
Yeah. What was his name again? I forget now. It was a big fella.
Honestly.
It's Handy or someone. I forget myself. Some dope anyway. I was absolutely. And now Soulboy, I'll go to you, George. No, I'll go straight to Brian on this. Keep seeing Batatic going in, but still no sign of him training. Is Batatic? I'll carry on to that. Is Batatic injury prone? Brian.
I don't know if he's injury prone. I know he has a big one, and they thought it was going to be 3 months. Then it became 6 months, and then it's like, okay, he's not going to be back. But he's a young kid. I hope he isn't, because he looked like one of the best players on the pitch in the midfield system that we're using last season. It seems like a long time ago now, but he impressed me more than most. Before all this new batch of young kids has come along, the Bradleys, the Kwanzas, this kid was such a standout. He looked I had high hopes for him, and I always thought one of the best things that we had going on, regardless of whether Thiago's fitness was allowed him for the first team, for Bajcetic to be learning off Thiago training. I thought that was superb. That was just brilliant. What better teacher to have. Mm-hmm. Now, unfortunately, both of them get long-term injuries at the same time. But of all our players last year, I had such high hopes for him. He looks like such a proper footballer. We can play him a right back. He can pass the ball. He can do all that stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him coming back. And I hope he has I hope this is it now for him, with regards to being injury prone. I hope this is just his one big thing that's happening. Comes back and off you go. You get your little bits and pieces, but I think he's top quality.
I don't think that he'll come into the first team, and being honest.
Not till next season, Frank.
No, definitely. But I think, if he is fit or whatever, running around and kicking a ball, he might get a game for the under-21s or the under-18s. So I think that's how we'll get back his fitness. Rather than throwing him into the first team.
He came onto the pitch at Wembley, didn't he? All smiles, so part of the scene there. So I think we'll see him next year. We'll see him back. I think growing pains and whatever it is something there that's not quite right. I think he'll come back strong next year. Don't forget, we've got this other fantastic player who's been injured for a while, Ben Doak. We forgot about him a little bit. That lad's fantastic.
But don't you think that they seem to be forgotten now? The likes of Ben Doak, the likes of Batatic.
They'll come back next year, though.
What I see
was that they were very hyped up, them two guys there, and Kwanzaa and Bradley. No one talked about them, and they've just come in and done a job. I think the hype. I'm not saying it's the hype reason they're both injured. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying in general, when people hype up players, sometimes their journey goes a bit crooked. Conor Bradley and Kwanzaa, no one hyped them. They just come in and done a job. So
Yeah, but Doak suffered a terrible injury, a bad injury.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Hope he gets better. But actually, he was smiling the other day. He was on the pitch as well.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Old school winger.
Yeah.
Old school winger, that kid.
Mhm.
Well, anyway, what about this? What Norman sent through? He says, Roy Evans brought a keeper, Michael Stensgaard, and he broke his toe with a 9. and he left the iron to his missus.
I remember that.
You can't get any, you know.
Did he ever play?
Yeah, arrested for saying that now.
I don't think he did he? I don't think he did.
No, I don't think so. He didn't play much if at all.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that goalkeeper we had? What was he called? A tidy or something? And he
Tangent.
yeah, and then he literally got booted out of the club for being a disrespectful twat.
I was there. I was at the memorial, and he was laughing.
He was laughing up in the stands. Yeah. Charles Etange.
Go on.
Charles, yeah.
That was him. Yeah, that was him.
And I was at the memorial then. I was up there. Unbelievable. And yeah, well, I never seen him laughing, obviously, you know. And then they were all talking about it as we were coming down.
Did he? He didn't understand it, did he? Like,
no, we never understood anything, to be honest. And I don't think a lot of other people do today. Never mind. You know, but I'm not talking about Liverpool fans. I'm talking about the outsiders. Yeah. And those Nottingham Forest. That's how it kicked off on the chat about the Nottingham Forest supporters and the vileness out of those. Horrible. And some Liverpool fan, you know, like I think it was the day after, you know, he was talking. He said, "Oh, I like their manager, you know, the Forest manager. I think he's great, and I hope they stay up." Not realising what those Forest fans were doing and singing, and even Klopp was looking at them with disdain.
He was, because they were singing about him. That was the first time I've ever heard an opposition fan sing about Klopp. They were saying Jurgen Klopp, whatever, you know. They were singing about him, and I was like, "Wow, I never heard that one before."
Yeah, and what happened at the end? Women and children out of the crowd, you know, ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? So what happened at the end? We got the goal, and that's the biggest show.
What I don't understand, I've got to shoot off with this. Sorry, guys. What I don't understand is, like, their team are about to get docked like 6 points, maybe 10 points. Yeah, so they're going to be thick in the middle of the relegation. They've got about 300 goalkeepers and about 300 players that they don't know who to play on the pitch.
Yeah.
And all they did is sang about Liverpool. Sing about your own fucking club. Give your players something to fight for. Like,
well, that's what they all do.
Ridiculous.
Every single one of them, even Everton do it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Support your own frigging team. We don't need supporting. Exactly. We've got our own supporters.
Yeah.
We're the biggest club in England.
Can I just say to K-Mac, before you go, K-Mac, you were talking about the injuries and the other lads you might remember. I can't remember who it is. I think it's a Tottenham player. Do you remember? I think he was a goalkeeper. Do you remember he was injured because he took a bottle of salad cream out of the fridge and he dropped it on his foot. He tried to catch it and he broke his foot. Do you remember that one? I think that was a Tottenham goalkeeper, was it?
Yeah, I don't
know, mate.
Yeah, that was like in the 90s. I think.
Goalkeepers don't seem to be good with their hands at home, do they?
Well, no, exactly. He tried to trap it. He dropped it. Yeah, he does what we all do. You know, when you drop something, you try and trap it with your foot. He tried to trap it and he broke his foot with the bottle of salad cream. He had to call into training. Broke my foot. How'd you do that? I dropped the bottle of salad cream on it.
Well, before you go, Can
I tell you a funny story? I watched this recently.
You're all funny tonight.
It was someone was doing an interview with Jason McAteer, and it was a story about the coat hanger. Have you heard it?
No, go on.
Oh, okay.
Mac is
so Jason McAteer got a new car, and it's got like automatic central locking, and he gets up in the morning and he starts his car. This is what he normally does, and then goes in the house, has breakfast, and then when he comes in, the car's warm. A lot of people do that, but he had this new car with central locking, and he didn't know. So when he closed the door, the car locked, and he went back in. came back out and he was going to be late for training and he couldn't get in his car. So he rang the police, and the police came, and he knew one of the coppers, and he was like, "Oh, can you help us out with the car?" And he was like, "Yeah, go and get me a coat hanger." So he goes upstairs and he's like looking in his wardrobe and he goes, "Oh yeah, he's going to break the window. So I'll get him a wooden coat hanger." He comes downstairs. And he has the copper a wooden coat hanger.
Yeah, I know him well.
What are you going to do with that? Hang the coat up.
Mr. IQ, Mr. Professor, legend, what a prat here. K-Mac, I want you to advertise this.
Oh God, I can't see it. Oh, Liverpool love song. Frank Carlyle. What's the song called? I can't see.
It's an album. Oh, it's everything.
Oh, is it everything? Okay.
It's all about, all these. You didn't know I made an album, did you?
No. Nothing surprises me with you, Frank. Nothing surprises me. I mean, you're going to just roll to the side, and Kenny Dalglish is just going to come sit next to you in a minute, isn't he?
I was at a function.
Nothing surprises me.
I was at a function, and I told Kenny about this lad who gave a Liverpool lad, by the way, in a warehouse. He, gave birth this girl, and he didn't know her name. She died, and this lad was named John Kirk, and John after the Baptist, and Kirk after the old Anglo-Saxon word meaning church. So they named him that. And Charles Dickens, I'm on the telly about Charles Dickens next Friday, by the way. This Friday.
Yeah, I've seen that, Frank. That'll be good.
But when I told this story, they got back to me. They only rang me this morning. They said, "You're on it." And they said, "Can we do that again? We want to bring you back again." I said, "Yes, sure." But anyway, this particular thing came out. Gave the impetus for Charles Dickens's birth of Oliver Reed. Oliver Swift. And Kenny all night I told Kenny this. I told him, and all night he was like that to me. He's going, and he's in company. He's going, "Frank," and I was going, "What?" He said, "Oliver Swift. Scouser, am I right?" And I said, "Yeah, Kenny, you're right." And that was all night. He's telling everyone about this John Kirk, being
I watched something recently with Kenny as well, and this is another funny story. And I'm going after this. Okay, I have to go. When he moved to Blackburn, and this is no word of a lie, this is from Kenny. When he moved to Blackburn, they didn't have a football pitch to train on. So they had to go to the park. This is when Blackburn won the league, by the way, the first Premier League, and him and Tony Parks used to have to hide the goalposts behind the bushes and clean up the dog shit. This is like Kenny Dalglish, you know what I mean? After he left us. That is nuts. Sorry, I just had to put that on there. That was nuts. They won the league with. There's no way that team should have won the league.
That's brilliant. That's
they were training in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, go, guys. Michelle, right.
Thank you.
On Thursday.
I'll see you, K-Mac. Thank you so much. See you Thursday. After the game. I'm doing a post match one on Thursday, if you should all want to go. And do you know what? Gene says, "Did no one see the clip where our physio told the Forest fans to F off because of the abuse?" The Forest fans looked like wild dogs.
Yeah.
And it was dangerous. Dangerous. And I know some lads who has a bit of blood on them, and these are friends of mine. They picked on the wrong lads, picking on these lads. So you can imagine.
That's what I said, Frank. At the end of that game, for 15 minutes, they were singing atrocious songs And I said, you know what? We're winning this game. And look what happens. Nearly the last kick of the game, we get that goal. Always karma. It's karma.
Yeah.
Football
There is,
karma.
Don't they? Okay, what this song we won.
There you go.
well, that's what it's all about. And I think when Darwin scored and he ran over, have you ever seen him more animated?
No, it was fantastic.
And that's why, because he knew that they were singing about him. And one of the lads must have said it, singing about you. You better do something, you could score or whatever. And do you know who I want to play as well for about 20 minutes or anything? Is McAllister. I want to see him play. Only 20 minutes or an hour, you know, in the last in the second half. I really do, because I think he's unbelievable. And Gene says, well said, JK. Well said. And they were the same last season, says Paul Turner, when we played them. They've always been like that. The horrible people. And as Gene says as well, that was greatness, passion. That's LFC.
Well, that's what our club's all about. It always has been. That's what it's all about. Passion from the stand to the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just horrible people. So listen, lads, I'll close now. I just want to thank you for coming on, and K-Mac as well for coming on, because Jason's got to do something with me thingy, you know. I can't do any of this. And he's got to sort it out for later on and for tomorrow morning as well. So, but anyway, just look, George, brilliant that you came on late, you know, whether it's late or any time. Thank you so much. And Brian, thank you for coming on. And you 12th, JK, and everybody else. And I'll be back on Thursday, post-match. It'll be, I don't know what time, so it'll be set out. I just don't know what time. I really don't. I've got to give a message out to the VARs. I'll be doing my film and TV review Thursday morning, 10:30. Okay, so that's for you, JK, as well. Thursday morning, I'll be doing that. I've got some good films lined up. And
I've seen Scorsese's new one.
Sorry?
Scorsese, his new film?
No, I haven't. I was viewing a little bit about it, you know.
It's a long one. It's a long one, but deep. It's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a new edition of The Godfather as well. It's on television tonight.
Yeah.
It's a new edition of it over the 3 hours. Yeah. 12th man.
Yes.
I hope you get that ring on Dua Lipa's finger.
You and I both.
Give me an invite to the wedding. I'd love to be
there. You're there.
For sure.
Right,
For
Frank.
sure.
One kiss.
Good night. Great to see everybody.
One kiss is all it takes. One kiss is all it takes.
Thank you so much.
Take care, George.
Did you have a drop of scotch, George, by the way?
Thank you very much for that. You know, I haven't opened it yet, but it will be opened. I might save it till we win the league.
Oh, that sounds good. Sounds good.
We could all, I'll tell you what we could do. If we ever win the league, you know, we could all meet up somewhere.
Yeah.
We could have a nice little day. Do you remember that night when I went up and gave that little talk for Mario's?
That was brilliant.
Wasn't that a lovely evening?
Fantastic evening. Yeah, it really was.
Absolutely brilliant.
We'll have to pay 12th man's fare over the Atlantic. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Get that Chelsea.
He only flies first class. You should know that.
Hey guys, I'm off. I'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you, George. Ci vediamo, as our Italian friends say. Frank, when Anthony sends that Dalglish print, can you ask him to please sign it for me? Thanks. Yes, I will. Oh, he will sign it. You know, that's what he does. That's what he does. And he asked for a print, Norman. He asked for a print of something, you know, Kenny Dalglish, because he painted the portrait of Kenny. And he said that he'd get him a print of it, which is nice because normally he never does prints of any of his work. This is Anthony Brown, you know, who comes on my show.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he's a lovely fella, and yeah, I will tell him, Norman, that's no problem, but he will sign it anyway. Anyway, lads, I've just got to say a big thank you, a massive thank you. I just want to show you this, by the way. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all the horses, and it's up in Netherton, and it's the stables. And look at Adrian. Can you see him?
Oh, is that Adrian? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Adrian.
That's what he's been doing. That's what he's been
Yeah.
doing. That's why he's at the club.
He's got to take some. He's got to make good use of his time. So
Yeah.
I think you're right there. I think you're right. I think he must have
I like
I
her
think he must have a
horses.
game of football with the horses. The horses,
You know what I mean?
kick the ball at him. But anyway, that's lovely. That. Nice
is that,
all.
Frank?
Have a great the rest of the week. Thank you so much, Ian. You're a good man. And Devar says,
Peace.
see everyone soon. Good night, lads and lasses of red. Thank you, Lee.
Peace,
See
bro.
you Thursday morning. Lee, I'll give you the ring later on. And answer your phone this time. The bloody moose. He says it. I'll give you my number. He gave me loads of numbers. And he doesn't answer them. And he said, oh, I'll give you the wrong numbers.
That's what girls used to do back in the days, nah?
And Darryl will ask, Frank, will you give me a ring? This is today. Frank, please give me a ring. So I said, okay. Rang him. Wasn't on. His phone was off. And that's what I have to put up with, lads. That's what I have to put up with. Lovely Jean says, Frank, we should meet at the Strand for the parade. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
nice, be nice.
We'll be there. Don't worry about that. All the crew on here. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we're getting back to all this. Like cracking the Da Vinci Code. It is like cracking it, you tell me. And but he tells me, okay, mate, my mobile is dead, so phone the and oh, for Christ's sake, I've got to go through everything. See what I mean? How awkward he is.
It's all good. It's
Send him a love letter. Forget it.
If you want to get in touch with him, you have to go through Tracy. That's why you have to go through Tracy first. Call Tracy. Call Tracy Neville first.
Send him a pigeon. Send him a pigeon with a note on it.
I feel Beatles About was a great show. I think he's trying to throw the hints here. Like, this is a Beatles About. But anyway, lads, having said that, I don't know how to get this off. Having said that, just finally, 12, just give you your predictive score. I forgot what you said, I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, I didn't give a score, but 4-0. I'm predicting 4-0. They're a good team. I'm not trying to overlook them as a good team. I respect them. I respect the fact that we're going to hostile waters, but you know what? I want to get a clean sheet. That's the most important thing. And I also want to see some people get off the slide. And I'm really thinking that Cody is going to get off of people's, SHIT lists, and really give us some breathing room this weekend. or excuse me, this weekend on Thursday, give us some breathing room for the return fixture at Anfield, where we can really, really rest some players and do a righteous bit by progressing on in the Europa Cup or Europa League, excuse me.
Okay. Well, the next time I'm on your show, I'll be doing this in here because it was on my phone and it was all scrunched up and everything else. So I'll come in here and come on. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The next time you have me on.
Oh yes, I definitely. I thank you for doing that. By the way, it was a pleasure and really enjoyable episode. I look forward to you joining the channel once again, certainly. And a lot of fun.
Well, it is a lot of fun, of course. Like this.
It was a lot of fun. To tell you the truth.
And Norman says, I think Jamie Phillips is on at midnight, Frank. Will you get in this time? I was trying to get on with Jamie Phillips. He invited me on, and I was in the living room. I was on my iPhone, and everything went wrong. Then when I came in here, where I am now, to go on, I told Jason, and Jason says, I'll sort it out for you. So that's what he's going to do. Thank God. Well, listen, I just want to thank you, 12th, Brian, who's gone, unfortunately. JK, I'll see you on, I don't know when I'll see you, Thursday morning. I'll see you Thursday morning. I'll see you again at 12th man if you fancy it on Thursday evening.
Yeah. Be sure to if you have an opportunity. I'll be doing a lead-in to the game, as in I do a preview before the game. So yeah, if you're available, or if you want to be in the chat, or if you want to be a part of the panel, definitely just tell me and I'll send you the link. I'll get to for you.
I'll see. Because I've got the podcast for film and TV review.
Right.
10:30 in the morning here, so it's what time you get out. If you come out.
Yeah, I will let him know.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Paul saying at night, Frank, you'll never walk alone. Thank you.
Peace, bro.
Okay, so
12 man's channel in the chat as well.
Definitely.
Subscribe to the brother.
Jenny,
Peace, Jean,
I'm sorry. She says, night, everyone. I'll be giving you a ring if you've sent that, because I need to get hold of you. And Redbird says, Ian, Frank cracked the Ripper case. The Da Vinci Codes will be a doddle for him if you haven't seen Frank's show on the Ripper. It's on his history show. Yeah. I've been invited to some university. I got a phone call last night. It was just before my show. They said, that was brilliant. Will you do that? I said, yeah, sure. Then they phoned me again. And today, and they said, we want you to do the gunpowder plot also. I said, I can't do the two. I said, they're both 3-hour lectures. So, because I have to involve everything. So that was kind of cute, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So, yes, 12th, thank you.
Thank you.
JK, thank you.
Thank
and
you,
all
bro.
the chat out there, thank you so much, guys. Do you want to say good night to the chat, please, people?
Absolutely. Good night to the chat. Good morning, good night, good evening, wherever we're reaching you in the world. Definitely been a pleasure, as always, up the Reds. And as I always like to say, take care of yourselves so that you can take care of others. And I will see you soon.
That's lovely.
And I just want to quickly say, Frank, the time Jack the Ripper was the time when Gandhi came from India to England. And then when Jack the Ripper finished was the same time he left England.
I'm trying to say this.
Good night, everyone.
You're trying to involve the Gandhi family in the Jack the Ripper.
Gandhi the Ripper.
Oh, what a way to end it. What a way to end this.
Shocking, that. Might as well say our wonderful Pope as well. Anyway,
that was a good one.
And Norman say, "Come on, people, clear off. Frank is missing the babe station. I'll be
There you go. There you go. Can't keep you from that.
Thank you
Peace,
so
people.
much, lads. Thank you, chat. Love yous all. And see yous all on Thursday. Try and watch the TV and film review as well. So that'll be great. Thank you, boys and girls. And Amy, Gandhi the Ripper, a new Scorsese blockbuster.
That would be amazing.
That'd be mad.
Yeah. Because you'd imagine a sidekick being like one of the popes. Anyway, enough about that, please. You know, I don't like talking about things like that. But anyway, see you all, boys. Shividi. Thank you. Look, we've been, as you said there, 12. No matter where in the world you're looking in for. Good night from sunny Gibraltar, says Mark Simon. So got everyone on. Thank you so much.
You got to say it, Frank. You always say something after you say that. You always say.
Yeah, give it back to Spain. Give it back to Spain. Oh, look at this just go on there. Like, bless up on that bed, mate. Jazz
Reynolds, big up.
Oh, blessed us.
Oh, Jazz. What a lovely fella.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
And Jay says, Mr. Chunk, damn dog. He had to take the dog out for a walk. It says you like. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Gail. I will see you very soon. Shiver the arm,
Definitely take care.
The Italians say, shame.